let us begin this tragic episode, shall we?
Oh, I love a tragedy.
Yep, it's wonderful. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Crabby D&D. I am here with all of my players today. Harlan.
Hello.
Jamie.
Greetings.
Simon.
Hello.
Sudz. Okay, I have all my players. I think you said. Sam.
Hello.
Hello.
And Infernal.
Hello.
Okay, we have everyone. Good. A few things to say. First off, thank you Sasha for all the artwork, including the now official ghost tile that I do have, so I can use that now. Thanks to Tabletop Audio for the free audio and music. You can go and check both of those things out. This is done on Tabletop Simulator, and I otherwise make all the maps. Second disclaimer. I apologise if you hear England being shouted. It is the day of the footballs, and I am not a fan. But there are people outside celebrating, even though it is raining. So, I apologise
you
if
live in the middle of nowhere, don't you?
I do. It's the problem.
That's how bad it
That's
is.
how bad it is.
Oh god, I've gonna hear so much shit from my uncle if somehow Shill Heath. Oh fuck, I did it again.
It's fine. They've got to
Fucking
find it
bastard.
first and spell it correctly. So
That's a point. There's like
Yeah.
a field nearby you where their name is more prominent.
I know, you look on Google Maps, you type it in and it's just a word, but then you look for the borders and it doesn't have any, so it doesn't actually define anything. It's like, he lives here. Does he live on the edge of it? Technically. Anyway, maybe.
I'll never tell.
That's Secret Keeper from Hearthstone. Anyway. Yes. We are all back, and I think we should now begin with what we left off with. Last session, my party of wonderful adventurers, shall we say, after deciding on a plan of action, a course of action to take, they were going to take down Queglod's parents, the Prills, both of them. With this plan in action and the decidings of what to do, Queglod suggested that they go to her old room. In an instantaneous flash, and nobody else objecting to it, the party arrived in Queglod's room in the middle of Prill Manor. Arriving there unscathed, unharmed, and a little bit pushed in, the party began to filter out, travelling to the different areas around the manor, exploring various things that she had previously scouted on. Heading out into the corridor, they were attacked by ghosts, beset by old spirits that seemed to be maybe sent to assail them or otherwise distract them. They weren't sure. But the party pressed on, investigating Queglod's father's study and general meeting room and lounge, going into their bedroom, dispelling a strange ward on the ground, and exploring the area before being attacked by various haunt wisps. Heading into the other areas nearby, with not much action going on, Bern travelled into another room, the side chambers to Queglod's parents' bedroom. With heading inside, they saw 5 coffins, each of which is elaborately decorated, with a corpse inside vaguely wrapped up and mostly decayed and mummified. A altar sits in the centre with a book wide open on the surface of it, and runes of power underneath each of the coffins. As they otherwise fought the creatures that had arrived through the floor and attacked the party, some more sword warriors and wraiths had otherwise begun to assail the party, with a skull lord heralding the arrival of such a powerful force. Quickly and easily, the party dispatched of such dangerous creatures, and proceeded to move on, as more spectres began to rise in one of the nearby rooms, and skeletons began to aid as more and more combats were chaining onto one another, due to a series of poorly timed events. With this, Sasha took a stand, and with the instant turning of undead, many of the creatures fled the area, most of them being destroyed, and one of the ones who fled, who is unfortunately an undead, is Bern. As Bern ran down the stairs and began to sat on the bottom step, very much cowering away from Sasha, he held his hand in his head and is still otherwise afraid of her, as you are still technically in initiative at the top of the order. So, with that in mind, top of the order, Rook, it is your turn currently. Is there anything you would like to do? You do not seem to be in any threat. You know that one of these spectral creatures still exists around here, and 3 others have fled due to Sasha's events. Malcom is in the other room, Sasha seems to be back there, and Bern is nowhere to be seen. Otherwise, the room lies mostly aglow with candles and braziers, a few runes of power on the floor, still glowing red, and the reconstructing body of the Skull Lord in the furthestmost coffin, with Queglod otherwise inspecting the runes, as is Elsyan, potentially in an attempt to dispel it. You're not sure. But what would you like to do?
Well, I mean, I guess we can't really hang around here for too long. We don't know what kind of trouble Bern's getting himself into. Who knows? Also, kind of need him to shrink down Gabby and Shattercrest.
You want to go and try and shake him out of it?
Yeah, I might do exactly that. I'm gonna go on the hunt for Bern.
Okay.
Everything I
5,
want to do.
10,
15,
20,
20,
25.
25, 30.
Okay.
How much? I've got 30 in it.
You have 35 as a Minotaur.
Yeah.
95.
Cool.
You can dash if you wish.
I'll dash. Let's just say
Okay.
I walk down this.
At this point, you have a choice. You can either go down the stairs or you can go back towards the others. You don't know where he ran. All you heard is that he ran down this hallway.
Okay, can I pop a lean over the stairs and have a look?
Yeah, I'll allow that. You always look over the edge and look down. You see a cowering Bern on the bottom step.
Okay, I'm gonna go downstairs to the Bern, which I'm assuming I'm here.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, you alright there? You run off, screaming. It's a little bit embarrassing. Stop. Give him a little shake. Maybe a big shake. In fact, I'm just gonna give him a full-on shake. I'm like,
Dwarf,
yeah,
man.
okay.
Man, that dwarf is scary.
We established you saw Queglod.
You
just
saw Queglod.
raise one eyebrow.
I forgot I saw quite. I was trying to kill me.
Queglod? Trying to kill you. I mean, secretly I think Queglod's trying to kill us all somehow. But I'm pretty sure Queglod wouldn't want to kill you. Unless you did something. You did bring up dead people, by any chance, did you?
No, I can't do that.
Okay, I don't know with you. Sometimes you can pull some pretty weird stuff. Alright, I don't think Queglod's gonna hurt you. Come on, man, think about it. Gives a very firm pat on the back. Dude, come on!
Okay, you've already used your action for this sort of thing. So there's not really any way to help him in this turn, but you are there, kind of giving a motivational speech.
Ah, motivational. Like that.
Okay. End of your turn. Elsyan and Malcom, you are going at the same time. So if one of you wish to take the stage, you're welcome to do so.
Right. If I'm good. Am I good to go? Sudz, unless you had something especially you wanted to do?
Go ahead.
Cool. Right, I've already looked through this book, yeah?
You've looked over the book, yes.
Looked over the book. Can I look at it in more detail? Because I know I didn't do well on my roll last time.
Yeah, you did a general skim read of it, and you understand that it is necrotic in nature, but that's the extent of what you understood. So for a more thorough read, this will be an investigation check. I'll say that you generally understand it. The investigation check will revolve around the time that it takes to look over the book.
Cool.
And being interrupted in this sort of task is a thing, so...
Yeah. I was about to ask if Arcana would be better, but nope, I got the exact same rolls from them. So, state roll it is, plus 12 to this.
So with the natural one, that is 13 minus 5 for 8.
Yep.
It is an 8 though, which granted is low for the DC. Is low,
Why
but
is there the -5?
because it's natural 1.
Oh right, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Natural +5 for natural 20, -5 for natural 1.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Yeah. As you otherwise look it over, you begin to kind of read through, and there are, much like a spell book, it's a bit jarring to read and a little bit difficult to understand, as there's notes, there's symbols you don't understand, and there's bits where you go, but it could be drawn this way and it's much more efficient, and you keep getting caught up in the efficiencies of the way that it's written. I'll say this will take...
They need to do this whole book entirely better. Like, come on, this bit should be over here, and Elsyan's starting ranting at the formatting of the book.
Yeah. So that has added 8 to the total DC of deciphering the book.
Yay!
So that will be this round's action used.
Well, can't bonus action to make this go any quicker, so I think that's me done.
Okay. Malcom, is there anything you wish to do?
Guess I'm gonna just come in here and see what's going on.
You head into the chamber. You see the glowing runes on the floor, the corpses in the coffins, and you see Elsyan poring over a book, kind of hurriedly looking through it to see if there's anything of interest. Chronicle stands there, kind of looking around as Queglod is also inspecting the runes. You hear Rook kind of rush off down the stairs towards where Bern was headed.
So, what's going on in here?
Your lord's gonna come back, I think. Point to...
Yep.
The coffin that is going to come out of. We're trying to stop that from happening, otherwise that would be annoying.
Presuming it looks magical?
Presuming what looks magical?
The fact that it's being put back together after
Yes. Yeah.
then I will... So I need to double check and make sure I actually have the spell still. Yes, I do. I will cast a spell magic at it?
At what level?
I'm not gonna try and use too much high level stuff, so probably the start.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me your d20 and add your wisdom modifier to it, please.
That's a 20.
Total of 20. You otherwise look over it, you cast a spell magic, and you watch as the rune flickers and dies below the coffin, but the markings still remain. The corpse stops being put back together. You get the sense that this seems to have suppressed the enchantment, but not dismissed it. For how long, you don't know.
Well, that's disturbing.
Well, that's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna... I guess I'm just gonna head back towards, Shattercrest and, Gabby.
Okay. Go ahead and move yourself your movement that you have left. I'd say you wouldn't be able to go across this tile because it's got a coffin and a corpse in it. Going diagonally across there. Okay. Ready then. End of your turn. Queglod. What would you like to do?
So can I also tell that there's still something going on with the coffin?
Yes.
like it's been.
Now that it's been dispel magicked, you can tell that the enchantment has been suppressed. It's not been disabled, it's not been removed, it still exists.
Okay.
Which would mean you'd either need to disenchant it, which takes several days,
Mm-hmm.
or find some other way to deactivate it or take away its effect.
Okay. All right. Can I attempt to help the book deciphering?
Yeah, you may. I'm reading one page each at a time.
Okay.
Go ahead and make me an investigation check then, please.
Yeah, purely for descriptive purposes, I think what's happening here is Elsyan has, in theory, a good understanding of a lot of what's going on here, but is like having trouble seeing the bigger picture of it. He's getting distracted with stuff, so I want to help pick out the.
Why is this paragraph there? It should be up there where it's relevant. This is pissing me off.
Yeah, so I want to help pick out the important bits and set him straight on it.
The true enemy was never Queglod's parents. You get to reroll once, just as well!
It was poor formatting.
The natural ones that are happening are just poor formatting, and that's the reason why I'm struggling.
This book is indecipherable, not because of weird languages or codes, but it's in the wrong place.
The investigation was that.
Yep.
Yep. So that is +8 for a dirty 20.
For a dirty 20. Okay, good progress so far. Going through the book and otherwise taking a few look over the pages, you understand where Elsyan's coming from. The formatting is terrible. However, beginning to point various things out, you do pick up general notes that this is some form of reanimation spell, so that you understand. And you begin to otherwise kind of look it over, seeing the various bits and pieces which do match. At this point, you have reached the first bracket, so you'll be doing religion checks here in the next section. Okay. With that, I presume that's the end of your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna have Chronicle continue to hold his action to attack in case it comes in range.
Okay. Good to know. Bern, it is your turn. You must spend your turn dodging, disengaging, or dashing away from Queglod. Or not from quote-unquote Queglod. If you're 30 feet or more, or if you are 30 feet or closer to Sasha, you cannot move voluntarily closer.
I will say he doesn't technically know my location at the moment, so
No.
I'm not sure how that applies exactly.
That is true.
Whether it's like
I
whether
would
it's
say
a physical force or whether it's what he believes.
I would say it would be a matter of he knows you're upstairs. That's good enough until he sees you close to the stairs.
Yeah, so I guess I can just dodge.
So you can dodge and stay there. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn, please.
Get any bonus for Rook's moral support?
Unfortunately, he had to dash, so I can't give you advantage on this.
The DC is 19, by the way.
I think that's an 18.
Okay.
Let me check.
Uh,
I'll check one.
Believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's an 18.
18. So you are still scared of Queglod / Sasha in this instance.
Or Quegasha, if you will. Sashlog.
Oh, Sashlog. Slod.
Lord? Oh no.
Or Seglod.
Seglod. I'm liking Seglod, actually.
Seglod, yeah. Anyway. So yeah, you spend your turn otherwise cowering on the bottom stair. Very much out of the way, kind of muttering to yourself about how scary Queglod actually is and how she's out to get you and how your time has come. All of these things. Sasha, it is your turn.
First things first. This is a castanet. It looks like the thing that holds a baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cradle or a crib.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it? There's nothing in there, is there?
It's empty and otherwise covered in dust.
Good.
The nature going up and
terrifying.
I'll say going up and taking a quick look. It is empty and covered in dust. The last time it saw use was hundreds of years ago.
Okay, lovely. In that case, 1, 2. What's the closest I can get to this one over here?
We moved 5, 10, 15. So it'll be 25 or 20, 25 to move into that space. And your speed is 25, correct? Or is it 30?
25.
Yeah, so you'd have to go 20, 25 to get to there. You could dash if you wanted to then go 5, 10 to get there.
Okay, yeah, I'll go for a dash just to get over here.
Okay. Otherwise, dashing
Um,
through and running past Queglod, you run round the coffin and up to this one. You peek inside and you see the bones beginning to refuse back together where they were otherwise separated by a half
well, they're
blade.
not fusing anymore. They're frozen in it for the moment, right?
Oh yes, correct. They are frozen in
Okay.
time, but they are still kind of held in place.
Okay. This is a bit weird to try and do this with a bonus action. I'm just gonna reach inside, grab some bone, and just try and do some channel some holy bullshit. I know that's not particularly descriptive, but it's all I can really think to do because I don't really know how this works as we've established back here. I don't really know masses about actual arcane magic. I only really know about divine stuff. So I'm just going to try and channel some of my divine energy into at least one of these bones, preferably like a big piece, like a pelvis or a sternum or a skull or something like that,
Okay.
and try and just see if there's any way I can make sure this thing can't recover.
Okay. I'll say for your bonus action, as you've already dashed this turn, you put your Forge Storm kind of holstering it, and you reach down and pick up one of the femurs and feet of the undead Skull Lord, and you now have his foot in your hand.
Yes.
And you otherwise hold it there. Next turn, you can try some divine stuff, if you wish.
Nice.
Okay. Rook, it is now your turn again. You have found Bern. He's still cowering.
Okay.
He's muttering to himself about the end is nigh.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give the help action. And I'm gonna, dude, stop muttering to yourself. Listen, Queglod is not gonna kill you. Queglod's parents might kill you. I might kill you if you don't shut up. But come on, it's fine. We're all here. We're all together. Well, I don't know what they're doing up there. They could be fighting a Skull Lord for all I know now. I mean, there's a weird enchanting thing up there. I mean, by all means, you'll be the one that's good at all this magic stuff, but you're running away. So, come on. We've got to go back up. We've got to collect our friends. And get through this hellhole. Also, you've got someone you've got to go back to. Come on.
What's the last thing you said?
You've got someone to go back to. You've got to get through this.
I'll try.
Cool. There you go. There's my action.
Okay. You take your action to take the help action, giving advantage for your next save there.
Speeches that could be given in a tense moment in a dungeon crawl or to a friend after a wild night out.
Bit of both.
Both apply in this situation.
Yeah, exactly.
It actually turns out this is where we all find out about Bern's secret relationship with Gabby, Rook's Griffin.
No.
No, it's actually your salamander.
Ah, I knew it.
Oh no.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
Wait, who's Salamander? Like the one in.
Which one did you have? The werewolf or the salamander?
Yeah, the
He had the
direwolf.
I had
wolf.
the direwolf. So you're Bone and Malcolm's Salamander. Okay.
Both actually.
Oh, okay. Hey, look.
Okay.
As long as-
Sam has gone to get food, so real quick. So Malcolm, what would you like to do on your turn?
moving
I'm
swiftly
gonna
on.
continue on my way.
Okay. You travel over
Should
here.
be able to-
Yeah. You head back in. Shattercrest is currently still waiting and looking around and seeing what this is. Gabby is not feeling very comfortable in this space, you can tell. Being kind of squished up against the wall, kind of being unable to move around, unable to flap her wings. She's very uncomfortable here.
Well, um, hmm. I don't know what I can do here, but I'm just gonna uh let them know that we need to find the next area to go to before we can get them out of this room, because this is a small place and it'll be hard for them to walk around.
I'm back.
Shadowcrest understands, but Gabby is less than happy with this kind of response. One, not necessarily understanding you, but kind of the answer of no in this scenario is very much a bad thing, as she begins kind of laying out a little bit more of a screeching and scratching against the walls in an attempt to escape.
Can I try to calm her down?
Go ahead and make me an animal handling check, please.
Oh, it's been so long since I made one of these. What is it? Oh, okay.
It's good.
A 30.
30. Okay. You otherwise, as you otherwise kind of begin to kind of talk to Gabby, you do begin to kind of calm her down, kind of helping to make her feel a little bit more assured of her safety in this scenario, and she does calm down significantly that she's not kind of making lots of noise and scratching, not drawing excessive attention to herself. Okay. Elsyan.
Well, how's studying the book going? Does it feel like we're close, or?
You've made progress. At this point, it's you know how the general nature of how it's structured and how it's all being put together. The next stage is deciphering what kind of effect this is having. Now, you have advantage on these checks because you, one, know the undead, and you, two, know the method of its reconstruction. So,
Okay,
yeah.
Because obviously what we're trying to do is just stop it.
Yeah, this is trying to figure out the fundamentals so that you can break it apart, which is the final section. So,
Cool.
this next section is a religion check, but you have advantage because you know the undead and the nature of its coming back.
Fucking will Elsyan succeed a religion check? Did he listen for once while in church?
Is your mic far away from you at the moment?
That may be better. That's
Yeah.
a bit directional.
Yep.
So advantage, yeah?
Advantage and religion check, yep.
That's a 21.
Okay. 21.
Elsyan listened in this session of church.
Yep. Otherwise, kind of looking over the book, you understand, yes, it's Skull Lord. You can see where it's kind of listed. You can see the listings for the sword wraiths on the side. You also see what looks to be their positions as you realise as you're going through. These are the butlers, and the head butler in specific is the Skull Lord. As you otherwise kind of give it a cursory glance over, looking through, you understand how it is all pieced together. And the last check that will be required to piece it all together will be the Arcana, and this will be to decipher a potential way to remove such an enchantment. Okay. Anything you wish to do as a bonus action or movement?
Me? Well, I don't really see much benefit in moving about. Oh, sorry. Is this me or Malcolm? I'm very confused.
This is you. Yeah. Malcolm already went just because you were away.
I'm fine. I'm fine with where I am and what I'm doing.
Okay.
Nothing else I can really do.
Okay. End of your turn. Okay. Well, Rook, that was a natural 20 to hit you, but you're immune to natural 20s.
Oh.
As this guy is going to take a Siphon Strike against you.
You see, I'm busy. Rude.
You take 28 points of necrotic damage, which is then halved to
14?
Yep. To 14 points of damage. And you watch as it otherwise strikes again, as it otherwise lifts its scythe up and goes for a swing against you. You feel a portion of your vitality lifted from you, and you watch as it shoots through the up into the floor above, where it otherwise is going to attempt to move out of your range. Back through the wall.
Oh.
So attacks
guess-
opportunity.
Oh, I do get it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, fine. I will.
Yep.
Swing. That is 20 for it. Plus 15.
Yes, that hits.
27.
Go ahead and roll
Oh.
damage.
Does Sentinel work on him?
Yep, Sentinel will work. He'll get stuck in the wall, and he'll take damage as a result.
Well, that'll do.
It's the same damage either way. Rerolling
Yeah.
1s and 2s for those who were quick curious. So 4 plus what?
4 plus 9.
4 plus 9. Okay. I will put him here because he's stuck in the wall. So 13 points of damage. Okay. And with Sentinel, he then takes 1d10 force damage at the end of his turn because he has to end in a wall. Okay, so he takes 4 points of force damage. And I would like you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please. Against being frightened. As you otherwise strike against this creature and it otherwise feels the hit, and you feel the energy almost tearing away from you. You hear this kind of ever so low screaming beginning to kind of emanate outwards before it begins to get slowly louder. Go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
God's sake, help Infernal with his wisdom saving throw. I've got to make one and I can't do them. That's 15.
That passes.
What? Wow, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah. As it otherwise goes to strike against you, you kind of hearing the screams, you look at Bern, and there's a moment of going, "No, I'm better than this," and you're not affected by the frightened.
I see how it is.
The DC is also lower.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, that will end that one's turn. Okay. End of that. Back to where we are in the initiative. Queglod. It is now Arcana to check over the book.
Okay, well, I'm good at that. So, if we continue to make progress, then I'm going to keep working on it.
Okay,
I want
go ahead.
a permanent solution to this problem.
Okay. Good. Very good roll.
Plus 8 as well.
Plus 8.
Yes, indeed it is.
So that's 27. Ooh,
Unless
yeah.
we're supposed to have advantage.
Nope, not supposed to have advantage, but that takes you way
Cool,
over
cool.
that takes you way over the DC, so I don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
You otherwise get a look over the book with the deciphering of what it is, the nature of the enchantment, and how it's going about with the help of Elsyan, kind of the two of you discussing it. You find various parts where you realize how it started up and how you could potentially reverse that. Every candle needs to be lit around each one of these enchanted circles, and the body must be wholly within the container for it to be started up. You theorize that putting out all the candles and removing the bodies should, in theory, prevent further regenerative effects. As you have this kind of theorem and you otherwise look over, you see portions of you watch as this almost light blue light emanates around the outside of the Skull Lord's form, and you watch as portions of the bone begin to heal, but the enchantment isn't in place. As if something else is causing it.
Alright. Do I realize this independently, or does...
You realize this independently, and Sasha, you'd also realize this as you watch as portions of the bone in front of you begin to seal back up again, and the foot in your hand gets ever so slightly heavier as bits of it begin to as chips and nicks begin to repair.
No, bad.
Bad foot. Okay. Bern, it is your turn. You are sat on the step. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw with advantage because you have help from Rook here. You sit on the step. You watch as this thing screams and begins to almost wail at Rook. And in that moment, as you guys look over at him, he looks bold and he looks strong, and there's a moment of like, I wish I could be like him. But then the downcast effect of as you hear Queglod shout from upstairs that she's figured out, it all re-incites the fear in you.
Ah! He's coming
I'm
for
so
me.
sorry, Bern.
He's coming.
Look of disappointment, just like ah.
Oh man.
What have you done to Bern, Sasha?
Turn undead.
Basically, go sorcerer is what you did. Look at him, he's got anxiety.
It'll last a minute maximum. Oh, if only. Anyway. Sasha, it is now your turn.
Right, I'm not a fancy magic person like this lot. I think we all know that, and that's pretty fucking fair. I am, however, an absolute bastard. Quick question. Word of Radiance. Is that a spell that I can make not hit Chronicle if I want?
I believe it's everybody in a radius around you. I don't think you get to choose.
Each creature of your choice that you can see within range must succeed a con save.
Then
or
yes,
take
you may.
damage.
I was just loading the spell up there. But yeah. In which
That's what
case
I've
you may
got written in the
choose.
thing. So, yep.
In this instance, I
Lovely.
assume you'll be choosing objects, given they aren't full creatures at the moment. But
Yes.
I'll,
Specifically, what I'm going to try to do is here. I believe I should be able to cover the entirety of this fucker's shit. Basically, the floor, the candles, the body,
Yep.
everything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up the body. I'm going to get my hands underneath, lift it up, cast Word of Radiance, and then just throw the fucker against this wall here.
Okay. You scoop your hands underneath, you begin to lift, you yeet it. Go ahead and roll me a... What is Word of Wisdom?
It's actually
Word of Radiance, rather?
it's actually a con save, so I can't.
Okay.
What's the con save of these candles, Chris? This body, this dead fucking corpse.
I will say the corpses I will allow due to the nature of Word of Radiance because it can destroy matter. With the candles, I'll say it's not necessarily environmentally.
I'm just trying to like interrupt their with holiness. In some way.
Okay. Well, he fails.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't have magic resistance. There's no way he's going to be able to do anything like that. Word of Radiance would also hit the one next to you, diagonally from you, which also fails. And I will say for the candles, I am going to roll a... Go ahead and roll me a D12.
D12, okay. That one's a D12, yep.
Yep.
Okay.
8. Okay, you put out a good 3/4 of the candles. As the Word of Radiance otherwise strikes, you watch as the wax begins to almost turn a slightly greener shade and then begins to crumble as bits of it begin to collapse. Kind of the
Do you
wick
want me to
snuffing
roll
out.
a damage roll, or is that kind of useless?
I'll be right back.
Don't worry about the damage roll for this. With the nature of this, you watch as parts of the body begin to not necessarily disrepair, but you damage them to a point that it's going to take longer for them to repair. But you do kind of
yeet it against the wall.
You do take note. As you always yeet it against the wall, go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh boy. Love those. Love that. 55 plus. Yep, that's plus 5. So, 22.
That succeeds. Okay, relatively low rolls. You will take half of 31, so you'll take 15 points of damage, but I believe you also have the Potion of Resistance for necrotic, so you will take 7 points of necrotic damage as a glyph of warding for some form of death aura goes off from underneath where you lift the corpse up, and you feel your right arm go tingly with pins and needles as part of the skin begins to go black before the colour and the flesh tone returns to it, as you otherwise yeet the body to the side. The glyph of warding now dispelled.
Okay, so everyone, don't remove the bodies unless you have some way to deal with necrotic damage, because that was unpleasant. You know when you hit your funny bone in your elbow, it's like that feeling.
Don't. I did
horrid.
yesterday at work while putting the drinks out, and ow.
The pain.
The pillars are hard at work. They're also square. So,
Ooh, pointy.
yes. End of Sasha's turn then. Rook, you are downstairs with the spectre halfway glitching through the wall as it begins to slightly wig out as its corporeal form begins to almost shift and fade to a degree. It is wounded.
Okay, so as it stands at the moment, I've got a freaking out Bern next to me, and I've got this spectre.
Correct. Who, for all intents and purposes, is on this half middle bit between the two.
Okay, alright, fine. I'm going to... I guess I'm just going to have to fight the spectre, otherwise it's just going to keep taking hits, and that ain't fun. Alright, 3 swings against the spectre.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Bern, but there's a time and a place.
You can roll a 19, it's fine. It's a 1 in 10 chance.
Good God.
And you have lucky.
Wow.
Plus 15 to hit. Correct?
Yep.
All of them hit, because you ignore the 3/4 cover thanks to your gauntlets.
Happy days.
Because otherwise it would be getting a +5 to its AC, so.
Like that.
Nice. The plus damage is +9, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So it's +27, which makes that 55 points of damage. Yes, you overkill it easily. You otherwise cut through it, the first attack almost doing enough to take it down. As the second swipe cuts through, you watch as its corporeal form begins to slightly tade and fray as bits of the cloth on it just slowly dissipate before it disappears.
I'm gonna turn around to Bern. Dude, we need to snap you out of this. I'm not too sure how many times I could be stabbed up the ass before I actually lose my fucking mind.
Would now be the time to tell you that you can actually just instantly get him out of it by just slapping him on the arse a bit.
The moment he takes damage, he's out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Fine.
A
I'm gonna use...
gentle tap on the wrist from you would
Fine.
probably do a point.
He's still
damage.
gonna take damage.
Okay, fine.
Not with your
Crit-
sword. I want to stress this.
Considering,
Not
you
with
know,
your
I
sword.
killed this creature,
You have
Can
one
I
attack
just-
left.
can I just give him a bonk on the noggin with the hilt of the sword?
Bern, does a 19
Gently.
hit you?
19 does hit me, yeah.
Okay. You otherwise turn around as you take the 2 swings. You turn around and you kind of strike him against the head with the puck lightly. What is the... what is your strength mod?
My strength. 7.
Okay, Bern, you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage, 1 plus his strength mod, as you are whacked against the side of the head. There's a moment of like, why did you... And then you forget that Queglod is a problem, as now Rook has become your arch enemy. You're no longer frightened of Queglod.
What are you doing?
Don't talk to me about friendly fire.
Hi!
I retract my statement.
Okay. At that moment, Rook, you hear of something cracking nearby. As do you, Bern. Malcom and Elsyan, you do as well.
Okay, what time?
A cracking sound, almost like stone breaking and shattering.
I suppose I don't hear a fucking thing. Being the oblivious idiot I am.
In this scenario, Malcom and Elsyan hear it from the second floor because they have monstrously high perception, whereas Rook and Bern hear it because it's on their floor.
Okay.
I hear stone cracking. Shit.
No, actually, looking at yours, Bern and actually no, yeah, Bern and Rook, you do hear it. It's kind of muffled, but you do hear it. Elsyan and Malcom, you hear it, but again, it is also muffled.
Also, they hear rather than stone cracking, they hear a scone cracking.
Yes. Oh man, that's a beast I want to throw into the game now.
Yeah, I know, right? I said it, and then
Hold
I'm
on,
like, ooh.
hold on.
actually.
I'm writing that down because, as Jamie knows, I have a list of monsters made of food, and a scone kraken is just good.
Yeah.
A what kraken?
A scone
Scone
kraken.
cracker.
Go.
Art ink is just cream or jam.
Mm. Or mm.
Gone to morons.
Yes, scone to those who eat quickly, scone to those who eat poshly.
Now, I actually had this discussion at work. We've also considered there may be a third pronunciation. Now,
Scone.
Heresy
obviously,
is this?
obviously
It's like
scone
it's like
as
the
in
old
alone,
GIF saying that it's
scone as in
GIF.
gone.
Yes.
Have you considered scun as in done?
Fuck off. Scone and scone. Head down.
Scone and Scone brothers, I recommend that we set aside our petty rivalry to. just
And we
destroy
must
everything.
fight this heathen insolence.
Sam, as someone who's extensively looked through the books, is there such a thing as reverse inspiration?
Yeah. Now, Chris, while technically in the books, no, you are the DM.
All right.
Look, it's been an age-old fight between scone and scone.
Yeah.
Now, finally, we have found a way to bring peace to the two houses.
Yep. So, Elsyan and Malcolm, it is your turn.
Huge discussion we're having here.
So, Elsyan and Malcolm, it is your turn.
Right.
Whoever wishes to go first.
Okay. Shit. Some stone. Oh god damn it! Some stone is breaking somewhere. I don't like the sound of it. And this formatting is getting better the further on the book we go. Actually, I'm finding.
It grows on you, I guess.
We still need to finish off looking through the book, yeah?
No, you've looked through the book and you understand the nature of it. You just need to blow out the candles and remove the corpses from the containers. Cool. That should, in theory, reverse the enchantment and disable it until it gets reactivated by lighting the candles and putting the corpses back in the coffins.
Guess who smartly closed this character sheet? Give me a second. As
you have also seen a necrotic death aura otherwise spike up and strike Sasha when she reached in to grab one of the corpses as well.
Wonderful. Have we blown out any candles yet?
Sasha blew out 8 of them from the one that she's standing next to when she Word of Radiance to blow stuff up.
Okay, right. What I'm gonna do is this one next to me. Can I use Mage Hand to sort of whip round them all to sort of blow them out using Mage Hand?
Using Mage Hand? I'll allow that. Using Mage Hand, you kind of quickly move the hand as it otherwise swiftly whips around all of the candles as each of them snuff out, like that motion in Kung Fu Panda when Shifu puts them all out. But in this instance, it's just a single circle of them. As the candles are put out, the runes on the floor still remain present. Seems it requires both if it should work.
Yeah, I figured. I'm guessing that'll be an action to do.
Casting of Mage Hand is an action, so yeah.
Cool. I don't know any way to get these other way to get these bodies out. What will it be to try and get grab the body out? Will it be an action, bonus action? Object interaction.
Object interaction, so an action. However, given the nature of them being fairly they're still bodies, but they're mostly decayed for the most part. I would say anyone other than probably anybody other than Queglod would be able to lift them out, because Queglod's small, so it'd be difficult for her. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, they're not really opposing. It's just they're heavy.
We've established that Queglod can suplex people, so obviously
this is true.
That was leverage more so than.
Yeah, that was leverage against a creature that actively doesn't want things to happen. In this instance, it's rigor mortis being a bitch.
I think actually what Elsyan's going to do instead of going and try to grab one out himself because he can't, would it be alright if I kind of move to the door and just yell down, "Rook, we need someone big to pick up corpses.
Yeah.
There's skulls in it for you."
That'll be fine. Rook, you hear this?
Okay.
Perfect. The Minotaur is coming.
Malcolm. If you wish to move any further, you're welcome to do so.
Just stay where I am.
Okay.
I'll go back to where I was.
Okay. Malcolm, what would you like to do?
Uh, I'd like to check out this sound.
Okay.
From what I could hear, it wasn't on this floor, right?
No, it sounded like it came from below somewhere, but you don't know where below.
All right. Well, I mean, can definitely tell it didn't come from either this room or this room because I didn't see stone in,
Correct.
right?
And Queglod has mentioned that there is a kitchen below somewhere, which has stone flooring and stone tables. You also know the walls are made of stone, so there's a lot of things which are technically made of stone which could have broken, but you know it's below rather than top level.
All right. I'm going to go downstairs.
Okay. Travel outside the door, you travel down the corridor, you hear the birds screeching in here still, as you hear otherwise battering and flapping still. You travel down the staircase. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You are obstructed by a rook. What's your movement speed actually? Is it 30 feet or more? 40 feet?
It's 40.
Okay, so you get to there, you have 5 feet of movement left. You can't jump off at this stage, you need to move around to where Bern is. You don't have enough movement unless you want to kind of dash to push past them.
I will actually from this, I would be standing here, right?
Correct.
Alright, then I'm actually going to go back to there and wait and let them go up if they wish. So I'm not in the way.
Okay. Are you holding your action to take dash action to move past them, or are you just going to end your turn there and wait?
I'm just gonna have my turn here and wait.
Okay.
I'm
Fair
not
enough.
in too much of a rush to
Start additional combat.
yeah. I
Okay.
just want to see what it is.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay. End of your turn, Queglod.
Okay. Right, yeah, not a lot I can do about getting rid of the corpses. How are the candles looking?
Elsyan has completely put out this one over here. Actually, you know what? I have fire tokens for this. I'll just use those. So that one's out. These ones are still lit. However, this one has most of it gone, so I'll just make this one smaller.
Okay. Prestidigitation can snuff out a single candle, but I'm assuming that won't work for
A room of them. No.
Okay. As lazy as it seems, rather than actually putting them out properly, it feels like the quickest way to put out a bunch would be to, I guess, shoot them.
Eldritch Blast?
I mean, that's one way, yeah.
What other ways are there?
I don't know, walk around and pinch them out one by one. That sounds slower, though.
It's up to you. Do you want to cast spells, have a chance of missing and blow things up, or do you want to just go around and pinch them out one by one?
Yeah, there's so many, and there's like 3 of these. It'll take forever.
Who has that wand of create water?
If you mean the... Oh, if none... Well, that'll be up to you guys. I know that Malcom has a decanter of water.
Oh, we had that. It was meant to be the sewage one, weren't it? But it never actually turned into the sewage.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah,
Elsyan have
just
that?
normal water.
Would
So-
Elsyan have items that he forgets he has? Yes,
it's-
is the answer.
Mm.
Constantly,
Yes.
If it's
all
not
the
in your
time.
inventory, then you don't have it. If it
That
is, then you have it.
That is a good point to raise, though. Would it be possible to walk around and pour sand?
Yeah?
Can I get?
That's
Yeah.
decent. That is
You.
a decent idea.
Yeah. Okay. In which case, I will say, spending your action and your movement, you walk around holding your kettle of endless sand out as you wander over each of them, extinguishing all of the candles one by one before ending in the
Very
same
nice.
spot.
Okay.
Could have just thrown some bacon at them too.
Made some lunch at the same time.
Perfect.
Okay. The remaining candles here. Can I have Felipe try and deal with them?
Make a d20 roll for Felipe, please.
Okay.
Flapping
I'll
wings
do
are
that for
pretty
you
good for blowing out candles.
Yeah.
True. However,
No,
Okay.
that's a 2.
go ahead and roll a d4 for Felipe, please.
Okay.
3. Okay.
Probably not being put on fire.
No, Felipe is not caught on fire, but Felipe does go over and other ways goes over to one and kind of thinking about how to put it out, uses his beak to peck it out, takes a single point of damage from his 3 hit points that he has, which is the d4 that I had you roll. So he has 2 hit points left before before one of the candles becomes your favored enemy for 1 hour.
My God.
The method of putting it out was... It worked, but not very safe.
Okay, I'll have to give him more explicit instructions next time.
Just gonna make this one slightly smaller. Okay.
Well, there you go.
There we go. Okay. End of your turn, Bern.
Oh, no longer scared.
No longer scared, indeed.
Alright. What's the
You're
plan
welcome.
for... I'm okay now. Thank you.
Good.
What's the plan for Shattercrest and Gabby?
I think that we need to find where we're going and then rush them to that place with enlarge reduce, potentially.
Yeah, I can make them small for a minute, but
What about polymorph? Could that change their size? I don't know how many people know
I don't
polymorph.
have polymorph, sadly.
Well, do I have prepared before stopping talking? Of
Then
course I don't.
I think we're gonna have to find where we're meant to be going and then rush to that place with them in tow. 'Cause if they
Yes, I'll have to
re-expand
run
in these
back.
hallways, it's gonna go bad.
And we have to go forward, back, forward again.
Just to clarify with the way Enlarge Reduce works, if they try to grow into a space that they can't fit, they will grow to fit that space, and then they will be pushed out to the nearest available space which they fully fit. So if they're
Just
caught
bring them
half...
and just continue my concentration, right? By recasting.
Yeah, you can re-up the concentration if you wanted to.
Question. Is there any limit to how far they can be pushed?
It's to the nearest available space. However, traveling through for every tile you travel, you take 1d10 force damage.
Okay, that is sensible.
Yeah, it works the same way as the corporealness. I know that if you were to cast Enlarge Reduce on a space that would be... So, if, let's say, for example, someone were to cast Enlarge Reduce on Rook when he's in a cubby, he'll just fit in the cubby perfectly and then can't move.
It's just
But
you mentioned push to the nearest available space, and I was immediately thinking of doing some bullshit with a big thin tunnel.
I mean,
it's
it's
probably good that wouldn't work, or at least wouldn't work safely.
yeah, it
Because
wouldn't
that would
wouldn't
be-
work safely, and the thing is, you'd have to grow back at the end of the Enlarge Reduce effect. I'll need to double check the Enlarge Reduce full thing, but I believe that's how it works.
Cool.
So if they were stuck between a hallway and the spell didn't keep going, they'd be shunned to the nearest available space, but they take damage for it.
Okay.
Yeah. If there are creatures in the way, it will push the creatures out of the way. No save for them, they'll just be pushed.
Okay. Noted. So, yeah, that's all I've got on the matter.
Okay. So you have this conversation. What would you like to do, Bern?
Hmm,
I have a...
I guess I'll just go reduce them and take them with us. And just keep casting it that way.
I'm just marking rooms that you know about, but you haven't actually been in yet. Just for...
What the fuck happened here?
That explains the car horns I was hearing earlier.
Oh.
A,
Oh yes,
a
it
sports
is
ball.
indeed coming
Yeah,
home,
you didn't
my
hear
good
the
fellows.
yell.
A sports ball is happening.
The sport was bald, yeah.
Yeah.
Foot sports ball.
We'll take our half time in 20 minutes or so. So...
Don't call it half time.
What am I
Don't call it half
concentrating
time.
So,
on? What am I concentrating? Oh, pass without a trace.
pass that trace and it's Vira casting it. 5, 10,
10,
15, 20. It's a ludicrous amount of tiles and 5 foot of movement, but you know. 20, 25, 25, 30, because you need to pass through Malcom to get to here, so you'd have to go the other way.
Oh, just dash.
I would also
Oh, just
I would
dash.
also point you in that direction unless you're going towards them.
I'm going towards them. Why?
I was gonna say if you were gonna try and go through this way, there's still light in this room.
Yeah,
Shade
I
light.
was just gonna go
Oh yeah, and the doors are still open, so as you move here, there's like a blinding daylight and your skin begins to burn
My
slightly.
base! I go and hide here.
Forgot about that.
Bullying the undead member of our party.
Look, I forgot that it lasts for an hour.
It's quite a duration. Okay. Okay, that's the end of Bern's turn. Sasha.
Hello.
There are a few candles that could be put out here, and there are otherwise 4 bodies still lying in their containers.
Cool. Let me quickly check my first level spells, because if there's one particular spell that's available, that would make my day. Nope. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, we've established Word of Radiance does work, just not greatly.
It's just you'll be rolling rather than guaranteed.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck it. I'm going the Queglod route. Can I use my jar of gelatinicity to pour some? In this case, I'm going to go pink slime onto the candles to make sure they all go out.
Okay. You go
I
around.
can produce to 10 gallons if you'd like. I'm happy to make whatever movement I can to get the maximum number of candles.
I'll say moving around this one, which had one of them put out from Felipe, and the 1 or 2 that was remaining from this. You walk around these ones, just pouring a pink slime on the floor, which begins to ooze and seep across the woodwork before it begins to set. The area around you has now become very difficult terrain to move in, but it worked.
I'm okay with this.
And you still have some more gallons left if you wish to use them on a following turn.
Yeah.
So that'll be your action and movement. Anything you want to do as a bonus action?
Bonus action. There's not really much I can do for a bonus action. I mean, the body's like completely out of this one. It's just in a corner over here, right?
With the exception of the leg, which I assume you still have. So.
I'll throw the leg over this way to make sure it's separate.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll pull out Forge Storm just so I'm ready for the next next terrible thing that happens.
Okay. With that, end of your turn. Okay. Rook, it's your turn.
Okay, right. Now, do I go up and help with bodies, or do we investigate what that stone is in case the Prills are escaping? Hmm. Also, hang on, I'm just gonna... I assume I can see Malcom at the top of the stairs.
From this angle, just about. He seems to be
Okay.
waiting for you to come up. Or go down.
Okay. I mean, there's two of them up there that can move bodies. As much as I love skulls,
Oh no.
I don't want these guys to get away. Malcom, are you coming down?
Yes.
I heard a stone moving sound. Do you want to investigate with? I'm assuming Bern's reducing Gabby and Shattercrest.
No clue what he's doing, but that was the plan, to come down and see what's
Okay.
going on.
Did he go in the room with the two of them?
Yes.
Then that's probably what he's doing. Okay. All right. While Malcolm's holding his movement, I'm going to move with Malcom and hold my action for if anything enters.
If anything becomes a problem. Got it.
Yes.
An action to do what?
How specific does this need to be?
I need to know what kind of action you're taking. If you're taking the attack
Combat.
action, that is notably...
It'll be the attack action.
Okay, the attack action. Good to know. So that means if
So-
anything harmless does come your way, you will be swinging at it and probably killing it. Good to know.
Yes. I think-
Queglod, if your dog still lives, I'm sorry.
Oh no! It's only if it shows hostile intent. Jesus, I couldn't kill a dog.
Don't worry, the dog's been dead for a long time. It was
Oh,
over
maybe
100
if
years
it's-
ago it was alive, so...
God.
So 5,
Well,
10,
it's kind of like
15...
How old are
rest.
you,
Okay.
Queglod?
10. So where would you like to go from here, actually?
Okay,
It's a
well,
decision to
Malcolm's...
you. Malcom has
Mal-
mentioned that he's explored a room under here and that this was the living room and he didn't see anything. You know that there are 2 rooms up here you haven't explored. One's a dining room style area or meeting chamber. Another one seems to be more of a reformed bedroom for just multiple people. And you
Okay.
know the kitchen is further this way.
Would I have got a sense of direction as to where that sound come from?
No. Given the nature of your
Okay.
perception not being that high,
Fair.
you don't entirely know
Okay.
where.
I will step here
Okay.
and wait for Malcolm to go in a direction.
Okay. Given your dark vision, you can see just about to the ends of the corridors and all of that. You don't see anything which catches your attention. And you hold your action to attack anything that makes hostile
Hold my
intents or
action,
movements towards you.
And I say Malcolm will be moving during my go, so I'll be following Malcolm.
Okay. I'll allow a joint movement in this instance. Okay. End of your turn. Elsyan and Malcom. We'll do Malcom next, actually, just to kind of keep the flow. So Malcom in this instance.
I'm going down the stairs.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, or 25. Would you like to go this way, or this way?
Considering what I've seen, I'm thinking I want to go in this direction.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, so 25 was here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yep. 30,
30, 35, 40.
40. Okay, and I'll say Rook is keeping up. Okay. You have an action. Would you like to use it for anything? Keep in mind, Rook can't dash in this instance. He's just keeping up.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my action as well for the same thing as Rook, just because
Okay.
I don't trust this place.
Okay.
I really don't.
Okay. End of that. Given the nature of what's happened. Yeah. Okay. It's cocked. Okay. There's a natural 20 against you, Malcom. Before some follow-up attacks from you two. As...
I can't even nullify that because I'm using my reaction to attack.
Yep. Well, you can. You can choose to nullify it, but then you don't get to make the attack.
Yeah.
You can still use your reaction for something else if you wish.
Oh, Malcolm's in Malcolm form, isn't he?
Yes, so this will be actual damage.
Hang on, does he have adamantine chains on?
I do indeed.
You
Okay,
do?
cool.
Yeah, I have the chains on.
Good to know.
Right.
Okay.
Then I don't worry.
Okay, in which case this will not be a crit, so this will just be straight damage then. Okie dokie then. Okay, so far so good. Okay.
Shit.
You take
Sorry about that,
36
Mac.
points of necrotic damage.
Oh god, what did I walk in?
I rolled really high for that. 36 points of necrotic damage, which is then halved because you have the potion of resistance active at the moment, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So 36 points of necrotic damage halved to 8. Or 18, sorry.
Damn it.
I'd take the 8.
And then
Eight as
half
well.
of that goes to there. Okay. Okay. So you take 18 points of necrotic damage. Now you and Rook both have attacks held, so go ahead and make me attack rolls, please.
Peekaboo.
Yes.
Oh, once a crit.
It's probably dead, but go ahead and roll damage just in case.
Okay, I'll roll the crit first.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's quite high.
Remember, you still have Shillelagh up, Malcolm.
Yeah, that's why I rolled.
Just
D8.
reminding, just in case.
So,
Okay.
get that? That's
The
plus 9.
crit is 28. Okay.
Okay, and then you've got these.
What was your damage, Malcolm?
Mine would be 20.
Okay. With these,
It's
yeah,
these 4
yeah,
plus 18.
yeah, it's dead.
Cool.
You took it down to 10 with Malcolm's hits after your crit, so yeah, it's dead.
Perfect.
Okay. As you go ahead and take a swing over Malcolm's head, ignoring the half cover, which usually for the comet strikers would mean you'd strike through and cut through whatever the issue is. In this instance, it's Malcolm. But the first strike as you swing overhead cuts through the throat section of the spectral creature, just below where it would be, kind of severing the almost spectral spine at the back of the neck, before Malcolm takes 2 strikes, the first one with the claws striking the face, the second one going for the gut. As both of them hit, the creature recoils, and you go for a single strike through underneath Malcolm's armpit, and as it otherwise passes through, it strikes and cuts into the creature as it disapparates.
Like a beautiful dance.
Dangerous one, but yes.
Good work.
Okay.
I don't trust this place.
Oh, I hate this place.
Queglod. It is your turn. Queglod?
Apologies, I was muted.
That's fine.
If there's one coffin's worth of candles left, then I will repeat what I was doing with the...
With the sand. Okay. You run over and new them around, otherwise putting them all out, pouring sand over them. Now you just have 4 bodies to worry about, which I will
Okay.
mark with poison, because it makes sense.
Sure, so once they're out, they won't be able to...
Once they're out, from what you've seen on the one that now has its last candle put out, the sigil on the floor otherwise kind of dies down and fades.
Okay.
No longer active.
So that will permanently end the...
Yep.
The effect that was restoring them.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I can't lift them out. Chronicle could, although that didn't go great for Sasha with the glyph of warding. Chronicle has no damage
Is
resistance.
Chronicle immune to necrotic damage owing to the fact that he is necrotic?
If a Shade's stat block says it's immune to necrotic damage, then yeah, it's doable.
The version of the stat book that I have written down for Chronicle doesn't. And
Then no,
it would
it
take a
wouldn't.
moment to go and check the original version you gave me, so I'm just going to assume not.
I will go and check it for you real quick then, because I can open that up all quick like. He's a shade, correct?
Yes.
Rather than a wraith. Damage immunity to poison only.
Cool.
Yeah, it's only the higher level ones which have necrotic resistance or immunity.
I actually don't have his poison's immunity written in either, so I will fix that.
Good to know.
But
Oh, those are the ones I sent you, so actually I'll sort that out at some point. Unless I've lost those two. We'll see.
I mean, there's a screenshot available
Yeah.
in our Discord chat, so if you scroll. So
Is it this one? Nope, I still have them. And yes, that is something I will change. Okay.
how heavy are the coffins?
Solid wood. They, by the looks of them, they are movable. They are lined with almost a felt inside, and they are very dense wood for the nature of coffins. Given the nature that coffins with a body in typically take 4 to 6 people to lift, toppling one or moving it will definitely require some form of athletics check.
Okay. Yeah, I could have Chronicle give that a go.
Go ahead and
Try
roll
talk
me.
this one over.
Go
just
and give.
to see if that activates the glyph of warding still.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an athletics check, then, please.
Do that. And athletics check for Chronicle.
No worries.
9 plus 10, so 19.
9 plus 10. 19.
So
Okay.
tip it out so the body rolls out.
Yep. I just need to quickly check some wording for Glyph of Warding. Because I know if it's moved, it's either destroyed or it goes off. And I'm just checking which one it is. If the object is moved more than 10 feet from where you cast this spell, the glyph is broken and the spell ends without being triggered. Okay. In this instance, Chronicle attempts to move the coffin. It is heavy with the body inside of it, increasing the DC. As he attempts to try and topple it, there's kind of this strange motion, and as he does tip it, the body kind of falls out of the coffin and it will go off. Because it's not any movement, it is significant movement. So in this instance, it will go off. So go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw for Chronicle, please.
Okay, he's okay at least, but not phenomenal. Yeah, that's an 8 though, so I assume that fails.
Yes. Just doing some quick math. He takes 55 points of necrotic damage.
Sheesh.
As the rune goes off, you watch there's this immediate burst of energy, and you watch these dark tendrils whip around and otherwise grapple onto the edge of Chronicle and begin tearing him apart. Is he down?
No, he's,
Okay.
he's alive still, but that is nasty.
Okay. As it otherwise tears into him, beginning to almost pull him apart, you watch as he staggers back and bits of him begin dripping away, and you see where he was previously kind of a flush, you could see who he was. Pieces of his face are beginning to almost flicker in and out between the difference of an undead versus who he actually is.
Okay. 59 behind his hit points, so he is technically bloodied by that.
Okay. Technically bloodied, if that matters, Sasha.
Oh, so if I can see that, then...
You can indeed, if you wish to.
And just to make absolutely clear, if I use my Healy Fire of Healy Fireness, would that actually have an effect?
On Chronicle, no. On you, Elsyan, and Queglod, yes. And potentially the candles, also yes.
We've established that the Healy one does not set fire to things, Chris.
No, the fire one does.
Otherwise, I would have done a lot of terrible things in my time.
That is true.
I would have burned a lot of orphanages.
Where did it's Sasha the one doing the orphanage burning, not Elsyan?
Okay, I will in fact activate my classic heart thingy, Heart of Immolation.
Okay.
The healing one
Okay.
that heals and does not set fire to things, Chris.
Very well.
Just making that abundantly clear.
Okay, Harlan, you're like sassing the DM, and personally, I don't want to die today.
It's fine.
Right. That's. Look, we both know that if I was unclear, Chris would take this opportunity to have some fun.
If
with
you
me,
use the
and
fire version, yes. You're using the Healy version, so go ahead and heal.
Right. So this will be split between us lot. Elsyan, that's 24 altogether because it's plus my spellcasting
Yep.
modifier. Elsyan, how many hit points do you have? Simon, or rather Queglod, how many points do you have?
I have 71 out of 116.
71 out of 116.
It's about
I
40.
have 120 of 154, so I'm missing 34.
Okay, so 8 points each then.
Splitting it evenly between you three?
Yeah.
Okay. 8 points of healing to each of you. Go ahead and mark that down. You were not recently hit by the Haunt Wisp, so you do not have to worry about not getting that health.
Okay.
8
Okay.
Healy boys each.
Alrighty then. With that, I believe that will be your turn over, Queglod.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
Okay.
Bern, is there anything you wish to do at this moment? I think at this moment, because most of the combat stuff has exited, with the exception of what's going on down here, we'll have one round of combat depending on what the two downstairs
I
do.
was just gonna use these guys and walk down with them.
Okay, using Enlarge Reduce and proceeding to take them with you. Okay. They will shrink in size to mediums. With the dog-like griffin now running behind you, and the now smaller young crystal dragon, you conga line it 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to there, with those two following suit. As you've used your action to cast, I assume twin spell cast Enlarge Reduce. Infernal?
Sorry, what?
Twin spell casts Enlarge Reduce.
Let me check which is cheaper. It's actually cheaper just casting it at 3rd level.
Okay, so casting at 3rd level. Okay, that's fine. Okay. With that being Bern's turn over, Sasha, is there anything you'd like to do about these bodies? There's 3 left.
Have we established that they do the necrotic damage even when all the things are out? I believe
Yep.
Chronicle did.
Correct.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I have a way to be clever about this. I don't think I do, but I thought I'd check. Hmm.
Are you back, Jamie? No, okay. Jamie's be right back.
Okay. When I was hit previously by the aura of death,
Mm-hmm.
did it like come up out of the coffin, or did it
Yes.
come out from outside the coffin?
It came
Like,
up from inside of the coffin somewhere.
So it didn't go through the sides of the coffin; it was just coming upwards.
You know from your experience, it flashed. There was a kind of a dark flash underneath, and then it went up and struck you. From Chronicle's case, he lifted up and turned it away from him, toppling the body out, and then tendrils of darkness lashed out towards him, going behind the coffin.
Alright.
So it doesn't seem like there's necessarily a safe space, as they have an area of attack, but they only seem to hit one creature.
I do have a way to cheese this, but it's so much effort for nothing.
You can always just tip them up. You can always just take the bodies out. There's no check involved, just lifting the body out and throwing it.
Yeah, fuck it. Can I try and like grab an arm from each and just drag them out?
Given they're undead and non-attached, you will literally just grab the arm rather than the whole body.
Oh.
So you'd need to
fine
scoop
then.
the body for this sort of thing.
Fine. I shall. You know what? I'm gonna be mildly clever about this. I'm gonna get my shield. I'm gonna use the shield as like a ladle or a spoon, and I'm gonna get it underneath them, holding it against the evil stuff, and then sort of lever them out, so that the shield takes the first hit, basically. Try and limit the amount of damage I'm taking.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw, please. As you use your kind of pushing your shield in, levering them out and pushing them up, the nature of the glyph underneath is exposed, goes off, and strikes the closest living or unliving matter close to it.
For 24.
You succeed. You will be taking half damage, which will then be halved again because you have necrotic resistance at this moment.
Any additional halving due to my glorious shield defense?
Nope. I just gave you a +1
Worth
to
a
the DC.
try. Worth a try. Worth a try.
Well, -1 to
Wait,
the
a
DC.
+1 to the
Yeah,
DC.
+1 to your save, -1 to the DC. Yeah, +1 to the
Okay.
DC for being cheesy. I've forgotten what I rolled. I will
Really,
say that.
being cheesy means you should get detriments. I've seen how you play Warhammer, Chris.
Shut up. 47 points of necrotic damage, halved to 23, and then halved again to 11.
Ooh. I swear these bodies get tougher every year. Right, I've successfully levered an additional person out. Elsyan, why don't you have telekinesis anymore?
I have telekinesis the spell, and I have Mage Hand, which is what my telekinesis was. Unfortunately, I don't have telekinesis the 5th level spell prepared.
Nice. Okay. Jamie, are you back?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, your turn. Or you and Malcolm, I
Awesome.
should say. If you want to just have a joint, you two go together, I'll allow that now.
Well, considering he's straight after me, isn't he? Yeah. I'll follow Malcolm.
Okay.
Usual drill. Yeah.
So, you moving up,
Yeah.
Malcolm?
Yes.
Okay. Proceed to move up.
Investigation.
Getting here, you see a corridor to your right, and a door straight ahead of you.
This can't go wrong.
I'm tired of doors. I'm checking down the corridor.
Okay.
Moving up to here, so that was 5, 10, 15, 20, so 20 of your movement.
Different way to start a new encounter.
See a door there, and you see a staircase leading down.
Oh.
You recognise this corridor. This is the one
do.
that Queglod's father walked down.
And didn't he come out of this door here?
He did indeed. He came out of this door, walked down the corridor past 2 sets of doors, went downstairs, and that's where the scry ended.
I'm assuming Malcolm.
I'm pointing down the hallway. Well, that's where we gotta go, I think.
Okay. So not these 2 doors here, pointing at sort of these 2, but not this door.
I don't remember what was in this room.
He
I mean,
left
I
the
don't-
he left the room when the effect of it was cast.
I mean, if you believe
It
they're
was
not in
dark
there, I
otherwise.
kind of don't want to go in there.
I
Hang
just
on.
believe that they would be down there because down there, scry doesn't work.
Okay, one sec. I'm gonna put my hand over the bead thing that
Okay.
Queglod gave. We believe we may found where the Prills are. There's stone stairs going down to a basement, and we did hear stone grinding when I was trying to snap Bern out of his burningness. So, yeah, I think we may have located them. Potentially.
Okay. The rest of you hear that. Okay, that would take up your action. So if there's anything you'd like to do, Malcolm, as an action, or are you just waiting here now?
Just go wait here now. Wait for them to get here because I don't trust door, so I'm not opening door.
Given there's no imminent threat that you need to worry about, what is this room doing after hearing that message to resolve the 2 bodies? If you're resolving the two remaining bodies,
Okay, right. This is me, isn't it? Right.
Well, it's you three at this point because I'm breaking out the initiative order because they've
Yeah.
gotten to a point where the people downstairs, instead of going into a room or trying anything, they're waiting for you guys. So I'll just resolve this.
So it's a case of it's the 2 poison things with the bodies, isn't it?
Yep, the
Yeah.
last 2 bodies are there. Yeah,
Right. Mate, they're too heavy for Mage Hand to lift them, aren't they?
correct. Also
I
just-
don't suppose this room has a chandelier or anything.
Nope, just braziers by the looks of it.
Okay.
I could try like take apart the bodies and take them out piece by piece with Mage Hand, but that
would
just
take a
seems
while.
like a lot of effort for what could easily be done. But me
Use
just
the scoop.
It will also take
Like-
a lot. It'll also take quite a bit of time.
exactly. So Elsyan, the tank that he is gonna use the scoop.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
I laugh because I'm in pain.
Back in a sec.
That
guys.
is a 16. Wait, yes, 16.
That is a fail. Okay,
That's
this.
a fail.
Oh no! I've just rolled really well, and I'm not even done yet. Hold on.
That's a 16.
Rip. It's alright, you've got the healer up there.
No, it's fine. I don't need a healer. I'm the tank. And yes, Sam is well aware that's not how any of that works.
Hey, that's. You
The
take
tank is the one.
You take
Okay.
60 points of necrotic damage,
Sorry.
halved to 30 because you have the potion of resistance up, I believe.
Mm.
Because you all drank them as you entered, so that would be 30 points of necrotic damage.
I am in great pain.
Go ahead and roll me 2d12, please.
Okay. Oh, I actually have D12. Lovely.
Hmm.
Why do I have D12? Oh, Toll the Dead. Right, that is a 6 and a 3, so 9.
Okay. You age 9 years.
That is nothing to an elf.
That's
Elves
nothing.
don't.
That's nothing
Yeah.
to an elf. However, with Rook, that could have potentially been deadly. Because 2d12 and 24 years, he becomes an old man and his strength drops. His con and strength drop.
Okay, just change it. Actually, no. I'd actually be 160 because I haven't put in the increase because of
Because of the year
No,
that's
for yeah.
passed. Yeah.
I am 160 years old. Elsyan puts on in a fake voice.
As you otherwise scoop the body out, kind of tipping it out, the rune underneath goes dark as a glyph goes off. You feel these tendrils of darkness seek you and strike against the surface of your skin. You feel the burning, but the necrotic resistance pushes it off as you feel almost a portion of your lifespan kind of pulled away from you for a moment as the glyph fades and dissipates.
Well, okay, I'm not doing the next one. Someone else can. That hurt.
Oh.
I'm glad I didn't go up there.
Ooh.
Technically bloodied now. Actually, no, I don't think I am.
Okay.
No, I'm not. Wait.
Who would
No,
be
I-
the one? Who would like to be the one to remove the last one then?
I have a question. As far as I understand, if we were to do something like tie a rope around the body and then pull it out from a range, is the person pulling still going to be affected by Glyph of Warning?
You don't know. The extent of what you understand is that it will cast the spell according to casting the spell. Looking at the nature of the spell, it doesn't seem to be particularly aimed for a spell that you know. The nature of it seems
You
to be
said-
almost like a draining of life effect or some form of aging spell. So the nature of it is difficult to tell. The closest you got was when Chronicle did it. It sought him out, so it might just seek out the source of the issue or the closest creature. It's hard to tell.
Well, it seems that the alternative is just pulling it out and guaranteeing getting affected. So, if anyone
I've had
has
an
any
idea.
rope, we could give it a go. Oh yeah.
Okay, so now I don't know if we're supposed to know this, but Chris, you said it attacks the nearest living or unliving matter, right?
Yeah.
First of all, two questions. First of all, nearest. We don't have to be the nearest to it if we do the rope plan. We can put something else near it. Second of all, what do you class as living or unliving?
Living or unliving would be a creature within range that is designated by the spell.
Interesting. Interesting.
Given that you don't know this information, though,
That's fair. That's fair. What I'm thinking is, what if we swap the bodies rather than just taking them out? You know, like Indiana Jones style.
you can
Except
certainly
more
try.
Like more horrific.
Yeah, you can certainly give it a try. See what happens.
So if a giant boulder comes in and chases us down this house, I'm gonna shout at Harlan.
Just writing that in now.
You're just giving him ideas, Sam.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's a
I know.
giant undead boulder as
This is
well.
better than everything I've got.
It's an undead boulder with incorporeal, so it rolls through the walls, so you can't escape it with the door.
I mean, the other alternative is to try and push the coffin away to disarm the glyph, which I'm happy to have Chronicle help if somebody who has actual strength wants to give it a go.
I will not help. I'll sit down and shut up.
Okay. Where did I put the body from this one?
I assume on the floor.
Okay. I'm gonna say I put it like on the floor here.
Sure.
Can I attempt to pick it up and do my dumb thing? Because we've established that even if you tip it over or push it over or whatever, it doesn't work. It'll still attack you. So at this point, I might as well try my weird Indiana Jones swap the bodies thing.
Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand using strength. Because it's a heavy body.
It's a slow hand. Don't have proficiency in that.
But you got strength, so it's just effectively
Just
it's
a
a strength
strength
check. Yeah, for a sleight of body.
Sleight of body.
Oh no!
That one. Love it. Love it.
Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw. As you otherwise lift one of the bodies, scoop it up, you fold the other one in, and you watch as it kind of crumples in, and they both just flop over one another. Total, sorry?
17.
That is a fail.
Oh, lovely.
Elsyan, just to be clear, you did say 16 earlier for your save, right?
16. Yes,
Yeah,
6.
okay. Just making sure, because there was the outrageous moment of like, that seems really high, and then I'm like, am I getting something wrong? Is 16 not?
I mean, 15 is already a hard set. It's a hard thing.
But it also takes the Glyph of Warding takes the caster's DC. So in the instance...
right, okay, cast, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Need to find that cast, I'm going to stab him. Wait! When this happens to Sasha, give me a sec. Do I have it prepared? Please tell me I have an idiot. Yes, can I cast Counterspell?
At what level?
I forgot what level Glyph of Warding is, so I'm gonna say what spell slots do I have?
Glyph of Warding is 3rd level, but it's scaled according to the spell that's stored inside. You have no information on the spell.
Okay, I'm gonna say 5th level because I've got knowledge. It's 5th level tends to be what can be stored within things.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d20 and add your intelligence modifier, please.
Well. Oh well. It's with the +6.
So with the +6 still.
So that's a 22.
Yeah, 22. That's more than enough. As the Glyph of Warding goes off and it otherwise reaches up, the tendrils reaching towards Sasha, you counterspell, and there's this net of magical energy that appears in front of Sasha for a moment, and you watch as the tendrils otherwise are diced into smaller pieces before disappearing in almost small puffs of ash, which dissipate.
I also puts up an arm. He's injured, just an arm. He's like, figured it out. Figured out how not to take damage.
Okay. All the bodies are removed, all the glyphs have been
Too fucking
disarmed.
late.
Okay. With that, is there anything else you would like to do, or are you heading downstairs to meet up with your friends?
I'm gonna take this book because it's infuriated me with its formatting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should meet up as soon as possible beyond that, though.
Okay.
Let's get going.
You lift up the book. Go ahead and roll me a Christmas saving throw, please.
Oh, you're shitting me! I'm like about. Did I pick up the cursed book? It's a cursed book. Chris.
No, you picked up the book which has the Glyph of Warding underneath if it gets removed.
Well, Chris, that's a 3. Can I cast Counterspell on this?
Given you weren't aware of it, I'll say no. You lift...
You sure? I've got high perception.
Go ahead and roll me a investigation check, please. I'll say versus the DC of the spell. Yeah, as you lift the book up, you see the glyph as it lights up, and you're like, no. What would you like to do? You have counterspell available.
Okay, right. There is the option of counterspell, or I could just put the book down and walk away. Fuck it, I counterspell. I want this book now. Gotta go to the 3rd level.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Go ahead and roll me a d20 and add your intelligence modifier.
10.
10. No. Okay.
I want to do a dumb thing by picking up a book with poor formatting, and I'm gonna die because of it.
No. Not die.
If I go unconscious and unstable because of it.
No. Not that.
I'm gonna be possessed.
No. Do not worry.
I do worry, Chris.
Hold on, I'm looking at the spell.
Oops.
What?
What?
Did you speak into your mic really loudly?
No, it's because I'm moving my mic, and it's because there's things. I've got a weird ear rash, and I'm using tissues to. It's a whole thing. Don't worry about it.
Oh, my apologies. Not charisma, wisdom.
Oh, wisdom. Yes, I rolled a natural 4 with my wisdom.
Still fails. Yeah.
That is it's 13.
Okay. Unfortunately, that does still fail.
I'm shocked.
As you lift the book up, the rest Queglod and Sasha, you turn around as you watch as Elsyan kind of hastily tries to counterspell it. As his counterspell kind of misses hitting the side of the desk, the glyph goes off, expanding outwards, and you watch as a ring of almost swirling clocks begins to slowly rotate around Elsyan. Elsyan, on the initial effect of this, you take 6 points of slashing damage, and you are restrained. At this moment, as you're otherwise inside these rotating clocks, you can feel the clocks and the gears almost moving across and leaving grooves and carves across your skin.
Ow, 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 ow. Misty step out.
Misty step out?
I'm going to Misty step out. Using my... I don't think I've used my Fate Ancestry one yet.
I do not believe you have. Yeah, okay, that's fine. You otherwise kind of look out from where you are. You misty step out as for who knows how long it remains there, and you see the cogs and gears otherwise turning and grinding across various areas in this 5x5 space. Yeah, you still have the book.
I don't even know why I bothered.
It doesn't matter. Let's just get moving.
Okay. Catch up with your friends.
So, how much damage was that I took?
6.
Wonderful.
I didn't roll very well, but that would have lasted and kept doing damage. So.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
I knew I had to top out of that.
Oh, you know what's even better? It becomes athletics checks after the first save because you have to push your way out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not passing them. You know what my modifier to athletics is, Chris?
-1. Oh, 0, even better than I thought. Alright. Okay.
I mean,
you're a cruel man.
As you
step is more expendable for you, but I was going to dispel magic if you hadn't been able to get out yourself.
Yeah. It's a nasty spell,
I
but...
was going to sit there and watch you die.
Nice.
Love you too, honey.
Okay. As this is all going on, as you're otherwise going downstairs, as you see the rest of your party at the bottom here, you see Shattercrest and Gabby, who are halfway through their current duration of, maybe a little bit over half for Enlarge Reduce. You hear what sounds to be a shattering sound. Elsyan and Malcom, and I'll say Sasha, due to your proximity to the stairs, from upstairs.
Oh God. Okay, so do we have to go investigate that? Can we just leave? Can we just earthquake the fucking place? Is that too much to ask?
No. Oh, we're in here to start with. And secondly,
We
I
don't
don't
have
much
to be
fancy
in
going
here.
outside.
We could go somewhere else. You know, we could go outside.
Sasha.
Yes,
Look
love.
at me. Look at me. Look at my
You
blood.
know it hurts my neck to look up that high.
I know, it's funny. Also, look at how bloody I am, and we need to keep moving. And we're not going to earthquake this place because it's a stupid idea. People will escape, and this would all be for nothing.
Not
Well,
quaking
fair
in at
enough.
the end if I've got the spell slots
Okay,
for it. I
so
hope.
you're going.
Move
So
Hmm.
okay, so at this instance, as you all catch up, you see a doorway ahead of you leading into some chamber, and you see the others are otherwise going down a corridor down this way. Do you all proceed to follow?
Yeah, let's be the sheep we are.
Okay.
Wake up, sheeple.
Go on, then.
You head down this way. I
Chemicals
will
in the
put you
water
there for
turn
now,
the
and I'll
fucking
move you
frogs
into your
gay.
correct location in a moment. As you otherwise pass, here, this is where things are going to get interesting.
I'm taking the hobbits to Isengard. God, sorry.
Okay.
Oh.
Malcolm, this is your marching order, correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep,
Malcolm, you
I'll
go
do that.
first. Rook, you go next. I will move you up to here. As you see before you, a otherwise dark interior with a portcullis on the other side. At the
I
after the
already
bottom of the
noticed.
stairs, you see a portcullis that otherwise leads into a chamber that looks like this. You see before you an otherwise dark brazier. You see almost a dark angelic statue, which has since been modified. You see bits and pieces of what looks to be Raven Queen iconography, which has since been destroyed and replaced with various other bits and pieces. Sculptures of skulls that have been placed around on the corner of rooms, and you can just about see what look to be gravestones placed in, almost carved into the floor.
Malcolm's gonna turn back to Rook. Whatever you do, don't make Queglod angry while we're in here. She might lose it.
Any reason?
Queglod, you hear this.
Uh,
I just feel a rage quelling up behind me somewhere. Be like, oh,
things are broken.
okay. Well, I mean, after Sasha got hold of this place, I'm sure things would have been more broken anyway.
So, you currently have a portcullis in front of you. It is
What are we
closed.
gonna do about that?
Does it look like there's anything to open it
Can't see anything, no.
nearby?
You kind of get a look. You get a look inside the room. If there is a lever or something, and it's on the interior of the room, it would have to be like right on the, like just within the corners, outside of your view, because you can't poke your head through, and you can't fit your arm through the portcullis either. It's too narrow for that.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know what it costs for resources to do that, but Spider Malcolm? Question
Okay.
mark?
Bern, at this point, I would like you to spend more of your spell points to use Enlarge Reduce. Otherwise, you will be causing a massive backlog of vomit of players and creatures as Gabby and Shadowcrest get yeeted back into this room. So, you'll spend 3 CP here. 3 CP. Sorry.
Nice.
Sorry. It's Warhammer.
VCP. Oh boy.
3 CP for Enlarge Reduce, Sam. Imagine that.
I don't know if it'd be good or bad.
Make an entire unit larger. Doesn't do anything, just makes them visually bigger.
I guess I will turn into Spider Malcolm and go in.
Okay. You turn into Spider Malcolm. Otherwise, shimmying through the portcullis, you arrive on the other side.
Do I see a lever on this side?
No.
I'll be stepping through.
Okay. You
Forward.
step through. Bern, you're stepping forward. Bern?
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of you will step forward.
Yeah.
I am going to look around because I'm guessing from this angle I can't see on the other side of the statue.
No. Okay. So moving around the room, kind of steadily moving around. You don't see a lever, kind of getting a general look around. But go ahead and roll me a investigation check, just for anything in general.
Investigation, that is a 17.
Okay. 17, you otherwise move around the area. You do see what look to be footprints, not necessarily recent ones, but ones that have moved to and from the various graves, the various sites. And you do see what looks to be, as you are kind of wandering around, not really getting too much, you do see what looks to be kind of small, almost tokens that have been left next to each of these skulls.
Hmm.
Kind of like hanging amulets of some form.
I would like to use my telepathy with Featherwing to let them know what I see in here
Okay.
and to ask what they think I should do.
Who's got Featherwing?
Featherwing would probably be close to you, given that he can't go through the portcullis, so on your shoulder
Okay.
probably.
Okay, so I will relay what I've heard back. How sturdy is this portcullis?
It is made of a otherwise well kept and some form of polished steel. You could try and break through it, but it's going to be heavy. Trying to force it from a lift upwards or downwards, depending on what way it goes, is possible, but you don't know the mechanism. There's a lot in play that you wouldn't know. From a metallic standpoint, it's doable. It would take you quite a while, potentially several hours to kind of bust through this kind of thing. But you don't necessarily have that amount of time with Gabby and Shattercrest being small.
No. Okay, well, I'll relay that information to all those who can actually hear.
Okay, all of you hear it.
Okay. Ideas? It's a portcullis. Can't get through it. Got the 4 amulets. I will relay, like, the fact that I can see the... Was this a brazier here?
Yep, brazier and a
Brazier,
statue.
there's a statue. Graves everywhere.
Yeah.
Bow in 3 different locations, I guess.
Yep. Oh, another thing to add to the description, as you went around the back, you saw the pile of rubble and the broken wall behind it, which Queglod previously mentioned was a thing when they collapsed the tunnels.
Guys? Ideas?
I've never once had an idea in my entire fucking life.
Fuck off. You're all ideas.
Yeah, but none of them are good.
Okay.
I mean, lighting the brazier probably does something. It's just a question of...
Ooh,
Was there a...
maybe there's
there a
something you have to
portcullis
put in
there
the
when I
eyes
was
of the
here?
skulls.
Okay, I will as they're saying that I'm assuming Featherwing will be relaying this.
I mean,
Back
you
to
can speak
Malcolm?
through to Malcolm. Malcolm's in the room, so
Oh, right,
he'd be
okay.
hearing all of this.
I'll
I
be
just
relaying
can't
then.
speak back to you.
You just can't
Okay.
speak back, yeah.
So the options are amulets in the eyes of the skulls or trying to light the brazier. Does mean you're going to have to come out of spider form.
Yep,
What
and this
if-
is your last
what-
wild shape as well, I believe.
It is, yeah. What were you saying, Queglod, before you got cut off?
I was just asking Chris if I remembered there being a portcullis here.
No, you do not remember. You also do not remember there being a statue or a brazier or any of this. The only thing which you remember are the gravestones, which you remember being unmarked for particular members who died in combat, but the names were never recovered.
Okay.
You also remember the room not really having a floor. It was mostly dirt where it was dug up for storing of bodies underground, but it was then kind of the bodies were laid and then it was paved over with stone. So it hasn't been reverted by that, I should say.
Well, I guess the only real ideas we have, I'll try. What was that about the eyes for the statue?
Eyes in the amulets, maybe the eyes go in the eye sockets of the skulls, potentially, or the brazier. The 2 options we've got.
Eyes of the skulls. Alright,
Can I send Felipe to fly forward?
Felipe flies forward and can't get past the
But
portcullis.
if he sits on Rook's shoulder and activates Detect Magic, can he see anything?
Welcome to the party.
As many things are currently parking on Rook's shoulders.
Mhm.
Bern, given this is all happening, I'd like you to use another third level enlarge reduce here, please, to keep this up. You otherwise,
Even a minute.
party's discussed various things, and I'm basically counting this as quarter time. So yeah, minute has passed. As you otherwise send Felipe up, Felipe lands on Rook's shoulder, casts Detect Magic. There's almost this surge of light and energy as Felipe looks in. Can't see anything particularly magical. Go ahead and roll me a perception check for Felipe. See if you can pick up on any more finer details.
Okay. Should be pretty good. For Felipe, perception +3.
Something I've never actually gone through. Because Felipe is a crow or a raven, does he have keen sight for advantage on these perception checks? Something we've never done, but I've only just thought about questioning.
It's not written in his stat block in his. I can check the book, but I don't recall that.
And it's worth checking either way, but...
Yeah.
Octopus, pony...
Oh no.
Raven. Nope, just has mimicry. Doesn't even have dark vision. So in this instance, Felipe relying on a devil sight for this.
Mm-hmm.
You look into the room. What was the total again?
18.
18. Felipe looks in, and with the kind of detect magic, Felipe picks up on and from the height advantage of here, picks up on some light runing on the inside of the brazier, as well as various small runes on the surface of the statue as well.
Okay. Right, there's something special about the brazier. Could be a trap, but if they wanted a trap, I would have expected they'd have it set up for us.
alright. Out of Spider Malcolm, I go.
Okay. You stand back up in the room. You glance around. You have the brazier in front of you.
Just step back.
Okay.
And I'm going to firebolt the brazier.
Okay.
Or try to aim it inside the brazier.
You aim the firebolt into the brazier. It hooks up and downwards, otherwise striking into the interior of the brazier. As it does, the inside of the brazier lights up, the coals otherwise becoming alight with the sudden heat and burst of fire as the portcullis and begins to rise. The way is now open.
Okay, I'm getting out to clear room for everyone.
Okay.
I'll come over here.
You enter the room. Bern, you enter the room as well? I can't hear you if you're saying anything.
Yeah.
Okay. You enter the room, otherwise travelling in. Next we have Gabby and Shattercrest, both of whom are still reduced at this point in time. However, will enlarge very soon.
Okay.
With that being the party order, please go ahead and move Gabby and Shattercrest to where you would like them to be, and then the rest of the party please filter where you would like to be in this room.
Like a nice area here.
Where would you like Chronicle to be?
Yeah,
Back in a sec, guys.
Yep.
Why have I gone?
You're
Am
up
I
here.
blind? Oh,
You're
I'm an
at
idiot.
the top, yeah.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
An idiot. It's fine.
Oh, God.
So, as you all enter the room, the brazier otherwise lighting the area around here up, you watch as the fire begins to slowly but surely dwindle and fade before going out. You hear an activation once again, and the portcullis drops, locking back in place.
Probably gonna regret. Actually, you know what? No, I can do this. I would like to use my gloves of identification and identify these
Goals.
token things on the on the skulls.
Okay. You reach
I
down and
inspect this one.
you hold the... Yeah, I'll allow it. As Malcom, as you otherwise reach down, kind of taking the token and having a look at it, invoking the identification. It's non-magical. It just seems to be a token of some form. Looking at the surface of it, it seems to be almost like a small clawed rat hand that's been kind of mummified in place, hanging around from a string that otherwise hangs on the edge of the skull. And Rook, as you otherwise get a look at yours, you kind of reach over, you pick it up, and you see that the token itself just seems to be almost like a wooden flat token with a hole in it where the string goes through, and it's otherwise blank.
Okay. So I've got just a blank token. Is there anything that resembles this shape, or
It's just
anything in regard to this?
It's just
on the skull?
rectangular. It's just rectangular, and looking over the skull, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Investigation. How good am I at investigations? Probably not great. Where are we? Oh, wow, +7. Okay.
You look over the skull. It is carved out of stone, and there is a bit at the back where you see that it has otherwise been broken inward, like it was decoratively carved in that manner, and you see that it is partially hollowed out, but not fully. It is a fully carved stone skull, and it is otherwise attached to the surface of the pedestal that it's on, with the kind of small hook where the token hangs in front.
Okay, and there's a hole at the back.
There's a hole at the back, yeah, where it's otherwise been decoratively carved like a strike would have hit the back of the head.
Okay. So I can't shove this in the hole.
You can go ahead and do so. You otherwise take the token, put it in the back. Nothing seems to happen.
Okay. Well, my skull's got a hole in the back. I think it's more just how it was made. But I have a rectangular token. I don't know if anyone else has any other shapes, or if there's anything that resembles that in here. Main statue, maybe?
I mean, there's got to be a way through this, so I would like to, since I'm bigger now, can I try and look over the statue, see if there's anything that I couldn't see before?
Go ahead.
If
Make your investigation check. Is there anything else anybody else would like to do in this instance?
I'm gonna check out what I can see of this big statue and give Gabby a pat, because good girl.
Okay. Given Malcolm's exploring, I'll say you give Gabby a pat. 12. You get up and otherwise have a look at the statue. You give it a little bit of a look over. You don't see anything of particular interest as you are kind of looking around and over the edge of it. There's kind of a moment it's very lifelike in the way it's been designed. It's been very, very well made with kind of the creases of the dress. The breastplate has been immaculately carved out of stone to look very real. And the wings, the detailing on the feathers is very, very detailed to a tiny, tiny level. There's a moment in you as you kind of think, is it a petrified creature? Or is this maybe a statue that might animate? It's just exceptionally well carved, however. As you otherwise kind of look it over, it does look interesting to you. But that's all it is.
can I get an idea of who it might be?
It's nondescript celestial. There's not really much to work with. There's no history behind it. It's just very well carved, it seems. Anything else anyone else would like to do? Bern, Queglod, Elsyan, or Sasha?
We haven't lit the brazier yet, have we?
You let the brazier to come in, but outside of
Let the
that,
brazier to come in. Cool,
it went
cool.
out and the portcullis dropped again.
I suppose I'll investigate the back of this skull, see if.
Okay. Kind of climbing up and getting a look at the back of the skull. I'd also say at this point, Gabby and Shattercrest go back to the normal sizes. So if you'd like to fit these two in instead of these two, go ahead and do so. Keep in mind, in this current space, Gabby cannot fit there because there is rubble in the way.
Oh,
All
right.
people, come to
Are we
me.
dead yet?
Come to the back of the
So you'll
room.
need to
Be
swap
squished
it
in
round
by the
that
big
way.
animals.
Yep. So I'd say
Now,
Shattercrest would
guys,
have to be like that.
I don't mean to disparage anyone's pets. I don't mean to disparage anyone's animal companions. What I do mean to disparage is the size of them.
How about this?
In my defense, it needs to be big for me to ride, you know.
But why do you need it? We teleported here.
Because they were with us, and I genuinely didn't expect it, you know, be so small.
It's a halfling house.
Yeah, well, I forget that stuff.
If you wanted to, you could punt Queglod easily.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it's quite
a shiver runs up the back. It's just like the terror. Now I know how Bern felt.
Could you imagine punting Queglod, her turning around mid-air, Felipe picking her up, and just Eldritch blasting back at you?
The only time she'll roll 3 crits. You know?
And none of them will matter because you're wearing adamantine armor.
Still. So remind me, there's the brazier to be let, and there's these skulls with gems for their eyes.
Specifically
The-
Rook's adamantine armor.
The brazier has been lit and it did open the portcullis, but it didn't seem to do anything
And
else.
It's gone out and the portcullis is shut.
Yeah.
Okay, fair
The
enough.
skulls, as Queglod, you check the back of yours. Yours again has been kind of decoratively carved, kind of a crack through it. The token in front of yours seems to be very similar to Rook's, however, it is otherwise made of kind of a slightly darker metal. It's a little bit heavier, and there's a little bit of an inscribing on the surface of it.
Is it possible to tell what is inscribed?
You look at the surface of it, and with kind of very little worrying, as it is written in Halfling, you see that it otherwise reads 2080 in 2 separate numbers with a comma in between.
2080. Okay.
And I'm gonna look at this. Have we looked at this one yet?
The
That
token
one's
in front
rat.
of that one has a mummified rat paw hanging from a string. Looking at the back of the skull itself, there doesn't seem to be anything of intrigue behind it. It's just well carved, it seems.
The mummified. Can I take off the mummified
Rat paw?
Can I
Yeah,
do a
you
string?
unhook it from the string. With the kind of the string as you unhook it from the edge of the skull. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
check this token as well.
Is it? Okay, I've got a rat paw. There's no token for like numbers on it, is there?
It doesn't seem like it, no.
Okay, got a rat paw here, people.
Okay.
Sorry, does the string lead anywhere? Sorry.
Oh, and my apologies. It was 2090, not 2080. I misread my notes.
2090.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll check the one that I've just moved over to. The token. And the skull.
Okay.
Why not?
You check the token as you otherwise get a look over it. You see a kind of a crude iron symbol of what looks to be a blackened skull with wings risen behind it. Go ahead and roll me a religion check, please.
I will relay this symbol for anyone that does actually understand this thing, because, I mean, I don't religion.
This is the symbol of Devad.
I really don't religion.
Mhm.
That's a 9.
Okay. You look over the surface, you don't recognise it, as you otherwise say back, kind of mentioning this. Queglod, you kind of feel almost this weird flashback as you otherwise kind of clutch the side of your head, a mini migraine kind of setting in. The black skull, 6 eyes, and 2 wings behind it are the representation of Devad. You kind of think about it and you recognise it immediately. The skull itself is similar to the rest, otherwise unaffected.
Can I get a chance to give us some more room to move through in here?
What would you like to do?
I would like to cast Speak with Animals,
Okay.
and I would like to speak with Gabby.
Okay. Go ahead and mark that off then.
Yep.
What would you like to say?
For the time being, will you be okay if I turn you into something different for a little bit?
She kind of pauses, looks at you, looks over at Rook.
Okay.
She kind of pauses and looks back at you before nodding her head. Doesn't seem to want to speak.
Alright. I also turn to Shattercrest, saying the same thing in Draconic.
Okay. He understands common, and hearing you say speak with animals, he's in the common tongue, he picks up on it and kind of nods back. That should be fine. I don't have any issue with if you need to transform me. I know it's a bit small in here, with him kind of banging his head just against the edge of the ceiling here.
Alright. I will have Featherwing cast Polymorph on Shattercrest.
Okay.
And I will cast Polymorph on Gabby.
Okay, what are you turning them into?
I think to give us some decent room, I'm just gonna turn them into like small birds, if they're okay with that. I mean, they both can fly, so it
So they're
shouldn't be
used to it.
too much. Yeah, it shouldn't be too much of a difference for Gabby. So
Okay. So turning them into otherwise small birds. Shattercrest otherwise flies over to you and kind of lands on your shoulder next to where Featherwing would be. Kind of flapping his wings, he kind of nestles down, kind of this chromatically coloured and rainbow coloured tiny little bird. Whereas Gabby, being kind of a chocolate brown with golden feathers to her, flies over to Rook and just kind of nestles in his fur and begins kind of rubbing up against the edge of Rook.
There. No making a nest.
Nestling in. Gonna roll for that. Nope, no nest making at the moment. Pulling out fur makes a nest. Transforms back, doesn't fit.
how to make it bigger?
Okay. Bern, I note that you moved. What would you like to do?
Oh, I was gonna say when he didn't recognize or said he doesn't know religion, I was gonna go help him. But
Okay. Yeah.
seeing as that happened, I'll go over here and I'll investigate. If it hasn't been.
That one has been. That was the wooden square, the wooden
all have.
rectangular token. Yeah. Looking them over, there doesn't seem to be anything significant about them, with the exception of the metal one, which says 2090 on it.
What do we do with all of these? Do we burn the brazier?
Can I examine the statue?
With it being previously examined, there's nothing interesting about it. It's just very well carved.
Damn. What about these bits over here? Anything at all?
You go over to the graves and you see that that each of them read, all of them read, "To an unnamed soldier of the Raven Queen, we salute you." And then you see carved underneath in a very crude manner, "May the name of the dead be cursed."
Ooh.
This is what they said before, right?
The name of the dead be cursed has been crudely carved in underneath. That was not previously there.
Right.
Well, I don't know exactly what we're supposed to do, but there has to be a way through, considering I watched her father come down here. I don't think he would have come down here just for this room.
Elsyan,
Yes.
given your position and you are the only one who picks up on this, you hear the sound of loud screeching from beyond the portcullis, back up the stairs and outside.
What sort of loud screeching? Is it like
Raven or
mechanics?
crow screeching? Loud and bellowing.
Loud screeching from birds of the Corvus family. Yes, yeah, I know shit.
Yeah, good.
No. So ravens, crows. Funny enough, rooks. Rook. That birds screeching. Alarm
Uh,
system, Queglod. Mum and Dad coming home.
Well, the birds were
Probably the
upstairs in that
birds
room.
are upstairs, yeah.
Okay.
As to why they're screeching, could be an alarm.
Okay.
Elsyan, the screeching that they're making is louder than before.
Yeah, bigger birds, louder, more.
Bigger
Not
or
from that.
closer?
Bigger or closer, correct.
It's definitely not from that room. Because that's right at the top, and we're like in the basement right
Yeah.
now, aren't we?
You're a good like 15 feet underground. It's difficult to kind of hear under here.
Yeah, we're not gonna hit. Something's coming.
Yeah.
Is pretty much what I'm saying. I think
Okay.
I'm gonna like place the rat foot down just somewhere so I can sort of wait by the portcullis and with my perception. Wait and sort of get ready for an Eldritch Blast if anyone hostile is coming towards us.
Okay. Where'd you put the rat foot down? Just on the floor?
I'm imagining that there's like a little ledge I can put it on. I'm just gonna well, I'm gonna put this. If it's important, gonna put this rat foot down next to the skull, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna stand by the portcullis and get ready to pew pew through it if necessary. Because
Hey,
Elsyan's a bit paranoid and feels the need to get some shots off first.
is there anything on the walls or markings or anything?
There's old iconography of the Raven Queen, which has since been torn down and shattered. It's now scattered about the floor.
The one thing I would like to do, I remember hearing about footprint. Can
Yep.
I still tell? Can I still see these footprints that aren't ours?
I will say go ahead and make me a survival check with disadvantage now that everybody has entered the room to discern differing footprints here.
Survival, that is a 20.
Okay. Looking over the surface of each of the dust, kind of different with the differing footprints, they seem to lead going straight in. They visit each of these four, and then they walk to here, and they face this way, and you don't see them any further.
They face?
This way, in towards the rubble from the back of the statue. You note that there are two sets, and that looking around with that higher roll, even amongst the kind of, even though you've got your allies, there are fresher ones which were relatively hurried.
Oh.
But you do note that they do both face kind of a scuffing around this area, facing towards the rubble.
Okay, so they go around to each. Alright. What if I... Alright, I'm gonna go around to each of these, and I'm gonna collect the tokens.
Okay. You collect the rat paw, you go over, you collect the metal token, you go over, collect the wood token, and then finally you go and collect the token of Devad.
Okay.
As you pick the last one up and add it to your hand, there's a flash and all of them dissipate and return to the hooks where they were.
Okay, so I have to take them in order.
We'll say that you went clockwise, starting with the rat foot for this one.
Okay.
So Chris is going to get
did it look like any footprints went up this way?
looking at them, they go in a circle, in a complete circle.
In a complete circle. Okay.
As this happens, as the tokens disappear, Elsyan and Malcom, you both turn around and you note that that one of the three eyes on the statue is lit.
So I'm
Guessing 3 mistakes, or
That could be good or that could be very bad.
Could be good, could be bad, you're not sure. Either way, they only ever seem to travel clockwise. They don't ever go back on themselves or anything like that.
I know this is gonna be a lot harder to do. But can I, with the information that I have on these footprints, can I try and tell which ones were made first?
Given the space of time that's spanned, I will say the DC for this check would be too high for you to succeed without potential foresight magic being used. or divination-based magic being used.
If they don't come back on themselves at any point, then logic would only say that obviously there must be at least two people. One takes this, one takes this. Then they move down, take that, and then meet in the middle. Sort of like simultaneously.
It goes in a complete circle.
It goes in a complete circle, going clockwise, so they can walk over their own footprints. However, there doesn't seem to be, given the nature of this happening multiple times over a long period of time, it's hard to discern whether some would have been recently, whether it required two sets of prints or not. It's hard to tell.
I mean, I'm guessing it would still take one, because I saw him come down here by himself.
Fair, but you don't know if someone's already down here.
So just so I have all the information straight, there's the rat paw here.
Correct.
2090 here.
Yep.
Which were these two?
Wooden token that was just a rectangle on the bottom right, and then a symbol of Devad in the bottom left.
Okay, and there were holes in the backs of
There were holes in each of these three because they needed somewhere for the loop to be tied for the string, whereas the rat token it was just wrapped around the stub of the nub of the paw.
Did I break things by taking the rat paw off it?
Nope, it reset back after Malcolm picked up the last one, and then one of the eyes lit up.
Okay, cool.
So, rat paw wouldn't have...
So, and the footprints go in a full circle that reaches all the way back to the start of itself?
Yes.
Okay. So you go around potentially more than one full rotation to do the whole thing.
Correct.
But
doing so would require walking over your own footprints.
Mm-hmm.
Which in this instance, as Malcolm has stated, in previous attempts he has come in on... Goiva has come in on his own. But in this instance there's two of them. So it suggests that the solution could be completed with two people in one cycle, but when you're on your own, it has to be completed in more than one cycle.
So you keep going around clockwise. I'm afraid that the nature of the different tokens don't really mean anything to me. I obviously know what they all individually mean, but then can't figure out why these. But they also might just be arbitrary, so...
Oh, no.
Elsyan.
Oh!
Yes.
At this
That
moment,
is-
you hear what sounds to be light voices, although you can't make out what they're saying. I don't believe you speak the language. As you hear some light voices saying something.
Would I be able to recognise what language it is, even if I don't know the language?
It's...
Like
I will
how we can
say-
recognise French, even if we know.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check, because it is a language you've heard said quite a bit, but it's a thicker accent. So go ahead and roll me an intelligence check for
Oh
this.
god, they're Parisians. That with flat intelligence, that's 21.
It is Draconic. It is a far thicker accent. Something that you'd expect a dragon to use.
Draconic. Okay. Guys, there's some Draconic. Someone talking Draconic. Does it seem like they're getting closer to here? They're coming here, or can't I tell?
It sounds distant and it sounds muffled, which suggests that either there's Draconic individuals or somebody speaking Draconic nearby, in which case they're on the bottom floor, or it's just something that you're able to pick up on. It's echoing through the house. You're not entirely sure.
Okay,
Either way.
but it doesn't seem like it's getting closer as I listen to it, does it?
No.
Draconic doesn't sound good. Okay, we need to figure out this puzzle.
I have an idea. If you guys,
You go for it.
I will say if you guys don't like it, let me know.
Go for it.
I was thinking of picking up the tokens in a random order and seeing if they go back in a set way.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that'll help figure it out or not, but it might help figure out how we're supposed to grab these things, or if we have to do this. That's the same thing over and over again, picking them all up in the same way or not.
It sounds convoluted, but I mean, go for it, I
Yeah,
guess. I mean, I've got no
I mean,
other idea.
it seems like there's a correct order to pick them up in, right? That's what I'm understanding, but I'm not really sure. So if
Potentially.
I'm guessing so because when they have picked them up, as soon as I picked up the last one, they immediately disappeared. But from what I can tell from the footprints, the walking goes around and then it goes behind the statue, and then they face the rubble. And then after that, I can't see anything. So I'm guessing that there is a correct way, or you just have to do it multiple times. I'm not.
Parents, when the last rushed ones that were seen, did one come from this way and one come from this way?
No. They both went clockwise.
They both went clockwise. Oh my god.
there's no way of telling where they
No.
started or distinguishing the different sets of footprints.
No.
Okay. That's helpful. Okay.
Uh,
Um,
I mean, we know that Queglod's parents might have something to do with a dragon, and if they're communicating with someone, they might be getting it out. So I guess we need to be quick about this.
Before I do that, can I try and go to the portcullis and see if I can hear the Draconic talk?
Make a perception check for me, please.
Uh, 14.
You listen. They're either not talking, or it's hard, or you can't quite pick it up, depending on where it's coming from. A little bit hard to tell.
Alright, well, I
So what are you doing?
let's see. This was rat's foot, metal, wood, skull.
do those specific types of tokens mean anything to anyone? Because I can't think of any significance for them.
Thinking about it, they all seem to have some relevance to undeath in some way. Mummified rat's foot, symbol of Devad, wooden and metal token both being symbolizations of dog tags, or in older times being used as tags you tie to someone when they had died as for a body's age, or the body's ownership to just be dispatched of. There is no significance in differentiation between them outside of potentially how long they've been dead, but that's a very long shot, and there's no way to tell given the nature of how it would apply. There's also no cues or clues to that. The only extent that you understand for this sort of thing is that it seems that there's an entry method, and your previous combination of 1, 2, 3, 4 didn't work. It's the closest you got.
Okay, so there's an entry method. It requires going back on yourself when you're alone. Is it possibly doesn't or definitely doesn't when you're not?
Possibly doesn't is more accurate.
Okay.
When you're on your own, you're pretty sure that it would require 2 cycles, but at very least. But when you've got 2 people, it's not necessary. From what you've gathered so far, there wasn't any going back on the on footsteps, from what you could tell. So that either means they were very careful with tracing their footsteps, which, given the nature of the hurried nature of the last footsteps, is very unsuggestive of that. But you're not entirely sure.
Alright. I guess I will try the random order. I want to
A brief
try.
second, just
Okay.
I know it's I've got a long shot idea here. We've established there's nothing going on with the statue, but other than lighting it, have we closely examined the brazier or brazier or however it's pronounced?
From looking it over, when it was lit, the runes on the inside lit up and the portcullis opened. When the brazier is not lit, the portcullis closes. There didn't seem to be any magic effects outside of that.
I wasn't more looking for magic effect. I was more wondering whether the runes around it or any carvings it may or may not have on it might give some hint as to what's going on here.
No, the nature of the runes is purely arcane. There's no extra information there.
All right.
I don't think the brazier has anything to do with this. I think the brazier is just a way that unlocks the portcullis that they can turn off from the inside.
Yeah.
Given that they know what the solution to the puzzle is, I don't see why they would leave any riddles that let you puzzle it out.
If you want anything more manipulatable for the puzzle, like the tokens themselves marked 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'll put them here. And if you want any more, just let me know. Just to cover any past combinations you've used so you don't double up any.
I am going to try. I want to try going 3, 1,
Round.
4, 2.
4, 2.
Yeah.
3, 1.
Hold on, just to double check, because that would take at least 3 cycles, right?
If I start here, it would be
1,
3,
1,
4. Then I have to go around. That it would take 2, or
yeah,
almost 2.
Well, no, because you then have to do the
3,
initial cycle in
1,
order to get
4,
there.
2.
That's 3 cycles.
So 3, 1, 4, 2 or 3, 4, 1, 2? Because, just to clarify, so you'd go 3, 1, 4, 2, exit, which would require 3 cycles.
Well, we're definitely certain that it's 2 only, because there's.
From what it seems fairly accurate that it's only 2 cycles.
Okay.
So.
It's 2 cycles. It has to be.
Yeah, with 2 people, it is doable.
Next to each other, right?
One.
This is a good head scratcher.
2. What if it's 4, 2, 3, 1?
Say again?
What if it's 4, 2, 3, 1? That makes it back to the statue in 2 cycles.
Makes it back to the back of the statue in 3 cycles, though.
Does it?
Because what was it you said again?
Yeah, the way it's
4,
happening.
2, 3, 1. So 4, 2.
The way it's looking,
3.
it has to end on one of these 2, right?
Where it has to end is on one of those 2, correct?
Yeah. So it has to end on one of these 2 for them to not go 3 cycles. Because if it ends here, it always goes to 3 cycles.
Yeah. Because if you go for, you said 4, 2, 3, 1. So going to 4 takes you round that cycle. The moment you hit here, you are on your second cycle, and you go to 2. Then you need to go to 3, which is fine, but then the moment you go back to 1, you then have to pass through to create a third cycle to get to the back of the statue.
Okay, so this is the cycle, not here. Okay.
Yeah, so something like.
Or 1, 2, 3, or something like that.
4, 1, 3 works. Or 3, 1, 2, 4. No, that doesn't work. No, it doesn't. If we pick up one of these first, we can't actually. So go 1. Yeah. If we pick up one of these, we have to end on the other one. So the next two have to be next to each other.
Okay.
Fuck, you can't draw this.
Okay, that eliminates a lot of possibilities. If we assume that it can be done in one cycle if there's 2 people, then that maybe gives us an answer.
So this would be 2 cycles, right, Chris?
Which one?
Over here on the right. So you
This
start
was just the one that was previously
No,
put.
no,
I haven't.
to the right of that. Over here.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even see this. Wait,
this
so
would be 2
so-
cycles, right? You
so
go
what
to
what are you
3,
starting with?
You go to 3, then you go to 1, then you go to 2, and then you end at 4.
Correct. Yes, that
Okay,
would be
still
that would be
behind.
2 cycles because you'd be close enough to this that you don't have to worry about backing up on yourself. So 3. What do you say? 3.
3, 1, 2, 4.
3.
I'm just checking all the possible scenarios. I mean, obviously, there's 2. No, that can't be. 1, 2, 3, 4 didn't work, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
The other one would be 4, 1, 2, 3. Did you write that one though?
4, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's another possibility.
Three.
4, 1,
I'm
2,
just
3,
putting your current thoughts on
1,
the
2,
ones that
4.
you've got here.
Yeah.
And if you want to confirm a cycle, you can go ahead and try it.
I'll write them down here as well. So it's 3, 1, 2, 4, and 4, 1, 2, 3. I mean,
Both of
these
those
are
could
the
be
only
done.
possible ones where they end on here, no? In 2 cycles.
Yeah.
Well, you
I
could
like
do
this
something
one.
like 1, 2, 4, 3.
Sorry, what'd you say?
2, 4, 3.
1, 2, 4, 3.
1, 2, 4.
That would be 2
Yeah, that
cycles.
would actually work, yeah. 4, 1. I think I found another one as well, I think.
You wrote that one twice.
Oh, wait. What did Simon say then? Did he say
1,
that?
2, 4, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not entirely clear on how exactly you use the second person.
I mean, 1, 3, 4, 2 also works.
Well, what did you say, Simon? You're not entirely sure?
How the second person is used. Because if you do it with multiple
Because
people,
this
it's
one is
something
incorrect.
works differently.
1, 2, 4, 3 is invalid. Because if you assume that both people or one stays at the front, this one goes round, has to pass 4, goes to 1, goes 1, then the next one's 2, so that person might as well continue. But then the next one's 4, which means the other person has to have done that, which means this person has to start a second cycle. So 1, 2, 4, 3 can't happen.
To get 1.
Hold on, say that again.
Because you start at 1, you go round a single cycle. That's fine.
Uh-huh.
But then when you go to 2, you have to start a second cycle.
Yeah.
Unless the person at the beginning goes to 2. But if that happens, they then have to walk past 3 to get to 4. So the second person has to activate 4. Which means that this person on 1 then has to go to 2, which starts a second cycle. So 1, 2, 4, 3 can't happen because you'd have to start a second cycle. That's where the second person comes in.
Okay.
So is
because-
the second person not... The second person isn't walking around with the first person. They're...
Not necessarily.
They're both
First
starting at
person,
1.
the second person, both work clockwise, but they don't necessarily have to stop at the same ones, nor do they have to both end at the same number. They can end wherever they need to.
Just checking. To get to 1 first, you have to do a full cycle?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
because you have to go clockwise. Therefore, if you're starting with 1, that means that the other person has to then go 2, 3, 4, which just might as well be the same as your first instance.
Yeah, I was just checking for this one. It worked then.
I'm thinking of trying this one.
Well, 1, 2, 3.
I mean, these are the other 2 possible solutions that you'd end on 4 or 3.
I'm thinking that 4, 1, 2.
I'm
Three.
thinking of a way if you can end on 2, because it would. But the 3, 4, 1, 2. Does that work? 3, 4, 1, and then you end on 2, and then you finish the cycle. That will work, no?
So just check if I'm understanding. If you were to do 4, 1, 2, 3, the first person starts at 1 and goes all the way around to 4, and then the next person does 1,
Just to
2,
clarify, 1 is not the start.
Okay.
Here
Or
is the start.
door,
Yeah.
which means that if
Yeah.
it's one
If I were to
cycle-
move all of these round 1, so 1 goes to where 2 is, 2 goes to where 3, and 3 goes to 4,
Yeah, okay.
and then 4 goes to 1, that would make more sense because that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4 because that's the order you did, and therefore the ones
That's
that I
fine.
did. If you want me to shift it so that it's different, that will
I think that would be
change
confusing
solutions,
at
but it will confuse things up.
So 3, 4, 1, 2 would work then. In 2 cycles. Chris?
3, 4, 1, 2 would work in 2 cycles.
So someone
Do you want
does...
to try it?
No, I'm just asking. Like, if you start, you go 3, you pick up 4, you pick up 1, and then you end on 2, and then you just finish the cycle, no?
Finishing it in 2 cycles as a solo person, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And if you had...
If you had 2 people, you could go for one person goes to 3, then 4, then 1, and the second person stays the entrance and goes to 2 after.
Okay.
So it is. So that one is again doable.
So how many valid solutions does that leave us on now?
3.
3, yeah.
These 2 are both correct, yeah. Wait, can you do... Can you do 3, 1, 2, 4 in 1 if you have 2 people? 3, 1...
That's the aim. You need to complete it in one with 1.
Wait, we need to complete it in 1 cycle?
With 2 people, you need to complete it in 1 cycle. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
However, they can cross over each other's tracks. That's fine.
Yeah.
So in
So
other
the first
words,
person would have to do 3
3,
and
then 1, and then the second person would do 2 and then 4. Yeah.
But with this person ending at 1, would that be a problem?
That wouldn't be an issue because from what you can tell, there are footprints that end at 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So there are some where it seems that there are solutions which don't necessarily rely on you ending on 3 or 4.
Okay. So...
But as a single
Right,
person,
so
when
all
you're
of
going
these-
around, you need to worry about more than 2. The solution is doable.
Right, and... As is 4, 1, 2, 3, yeah.
So are we looking for the solution for 2 people or 1 person?
Both.
Both.
Okay.
Whichever works for...
Well, then 2, 3, 4, 1 is also a solution, no?
Two, 3, 4, 1 is a solution. However, 2 cycles isn't necessary at that point
Yeah, so that one...
for the first person, so it becomes irrelevant.
Yeah, Yeah, so you can go this way. Right.
Alright. Yeah, but they always go clockwise, so.
Yeah, I mean that's what I. Like,
Yeah,
you can
they always
through
go clockwise, but you
one
don't
and then
necessarily have to
continue
finish.
clockwise, no?
From the nature of what you're understanding, there are footprints that end at other areas, suggesting that whatever this completes causes an additional effect afterwards. The nature of them ending with their footprints facing this way doesn't necessarily seem to be tracks leading up to it. So for clarification, you can go round in 2 cycles as one person. With 2 people, you can go round in 1 cycle, but it doesn't matter where the end point is. So 2, 3, 4, 1 is invalid because you can complete it in 1 cycle, ignoring the fact that you'd have to walk back round. Because you can end
I'm
at 3, 4,
understanding
1, or
this
2.
now. The problem is it seems like there are multiple solutions. Which, I mean, maybe that's not a problem, but...
I mean, if it seems like they can end at any point, I believe that it's more the aim of going around that's the issue with this, instead of an actual pickup order itself of what you actually have to pick up. Does anyone have an
Hold
issue
on.
with trying out this one?
Hold on.
It has to be wider of these two. I just don't know.
Which one would you like to try?
I want to try 4, 1,
Wait,
2,
hold
3.
on. You think it has to be one of these two?
Well, that's the only way it makes sense for 1 cycle with 2 people, no?
Does
I mean,
3, 4, 1, 2 not work?
it kind of works.
3,
The
4,
only
1
thing
doesn't.
is the second person only picks up 2.
There's no like limit how many someone needs to pick up, no?
No.
I don't. It doesn't seem that way. I mean, if one person can do it by themselves, then there shouldn't be a limit of how many can be picked up by one person. I don't know.
So there's no reason to discount this solution.
No, I'm not discounting it.
Okay, that's just what I'm trying to figure out.
Also a solution, yeah.
That if all 3 of these are on the board, then I don't want to guess.
Yeah.
Because if we left with just 2 solutions, then we can just try one. And if
Yeah,
it's
that's-
not that, then it's the
Yeah,
other.
that's true actually. So we have to have 3 solutions. Yeah. So these are the 3 solutions possible.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I just wanted to try this
So
one
Yeah.
out.
only one of these is correct. Yeah.
I just wanted to try this one out and get one of them off the board, and yeah.
But how are we going to distinguish between the last 2 if that one's wrong?
I don't know if there is a way to distinguish.
There is no way.
Yeah, but this is just what I'm trying to think because we can only make 2 more mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, right now it's a 33% chance. Then the next to is 50-50.
Yeah, I don't.
If there's no other hints that we can find.
Not that you can tell. Elsyan.
Right, yes.
At this time, while all this conversation's going on with them figuring this out, kind of writing it in the dust, kind of figuring out how it might be, kind of discussing this, you hear footprints from above before you hear kind of a stop. Where whatever may be happening, before you hear footprints going away slightly more hurriedly.
Okay, guys, I will say, if we're gonna do something, do it quickly. We may have just been
Do we want to
spotted.
just take a guess then?
Just pick one and let's...
I want to go with this
go.
one.
Alright. Okay, give it a go then.
Okay. You go over to number 4. I'll put these
Do we
here.
do it with 2 people though, or how do we do it?
Oh, you can. It can be done with 1 or 2 people. The idea is you just complete it in 1 cycle with 1 or 2. It's fine.
Do it individually.
You can keep walking round and around. It's fine. You're not setting anything off. It's just the order you pick them up. You go over to the 4th one. You take it. You lift up the icon of the Davad. You go over to the next one, the mummified paw. You lift it up. You then go to the next one, the 2, picking it up. It's the kind of the metallic tag. and as you go down to the last one, the wooden one, you pick it up. You feel the energy grow again. There's a flash, they disappear, and they reappear on the hooks. And the room goes dark. None of you can see, with the exception of Queglod, who has Devil's Sight.
Really, even those with dark vision.
Even those with dark vision, as magical darkness swamps the room. As you feel this take place, there's a moment of, like, reaching out. And you watch as a archway appears, kind of a light green archway ahead in the direction where the rebel came from. The doorway has opened. You have solved the solution. It was indeed 4123.
Alright, well, I guess we're going through.
As the hallway reveals further down this way, you watch as the number 4123 above where the archway is dissipates and fades, becoming 20 and 90, and you watch as the 90 begins to count down.
Now it's how much time we have to go in and out.
Does everyone still can't see, or?
No, everyone can see through the magical darkness the doorway, but nothing else. You can still feel the stone, you still feel the stone statue and the other stuff, but there's a doorway through the rubble.
I mean, will the stuff that we've in here, will that block out the light from the archway?
No. It seems to
No, it
pass
doesn't.
straight through. It's a strange interaction. There are solid objects, although they seem to be see-through, yet
Okay.
no.
Alright, everyone get moving, use your spatial awareness.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Queglod is
I'm gonna-
otherwise looking around the room. You
I'm
see kind of
groping the
silhouettes of
statue.
things.
I mean, I assume that I can see the archway quite clearly, so I'm gonna go through. Can I reach into my bag and... Oh, I guess I can't see. I was gonna say grab a healing potion, or greater healing potion, because
Yeah.
bloody hell, I'm looking
Reach
rough.
into your bag, you swig the healing potion, go ahead and do so. What is the marching order going forward?
Well, I'm close, so I don't mind going in front and taking whatever hits us.
Okay.
As long as there's no issue, I've also got a pretty good set look on it, so I'll
Okay.
go next.
Okay.
I mean, Elsyan will bring up the rear.
Keep
'cause
in
he's
mind,
focused on
none of
that.
you can see anything except for Queglod. Right now, Rook is looking into total darkness, kind of feeling along the wall.
Really? Even think? Oh, fine. Oh boy.
Yeah, this is to the point where you can't see anything. There's
I'll
no
follow-
dark
I'll
vision
follow
effectiveness. It's
I'm gonna
magical
follow
darkness to a
Rook through
degree.
The tremor sense. Actually, I can't. 'Cause I'm not
You
on
can
top.
tremor sense your allies, but you can't tremor sense anything else because
Yeah.
unless it moves.
That's what I mean. I'm following Rook by
Okay.
tremor sense.
So Queglod, where do you want to be in this, given that you're the only one who can see here?
Do I need to help guide these two because they need to get around the statue?
No, they can kind of feel along the edge and go around. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm guessing with my survival, I should be able to tell where things were, right?
With the
In which
survival,
case,
you guys should
I
be fine.
will go at the back, and Felipe is going to go at the front.
Okay, so Felipe is going to be on Rook's shoulder then.
I mean, like I said, I'm trying to be the next person in because I'm
Okay.
just close to it.
Line
so
yourself
I
up over the
think-
statue. That's perfectly fine. Just so that
Right.
I have a marching order here.
Will I sort of know roughly where things should be?
Yes, you're being guided by the help of Queglod, while also being guided by Felipe's assistance and everything else.
So I'm good to go here, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you.
Chronicles.
Just like I'm going to swap.
That is on.
Oh, that's on
Vacancy plus
Bern.
diversity
Oh yeah,
is
for
on-
past that a trace, which is still up. Yeah. Rook, as you're walking ahead, a crow or a raven otherwise lands on your shoulder and begins to look, and there's like a light caw before you bonk walk into another portcullis.
Hang on, I'm going to cast Speak with Animals because I can.
Right.
And
Okay.
I'm good. Can I understand Felipe now? I mean, I've got Gabby on my other shoulder. This is a real
You can.
fest of animals going on here.
Felipe and Gabby are one on each shoulder as you bonk into the portcullis. There is a moment where you kind of look, you kind of feel forward, you can feel where the portcullis is, and you kind of wrap your hands around it. It's a thicker portcullis, it's got a wider opening. However, that is where we are going to end the session tonight, as it is getting close to our stop time. But yes, so, for those watching, thank you for watching, hopefully you enjoyed. Congratulations, Ricky, you did get the puzzle right, and welcome back. And, yeah, so, we'll be back next week when the party continues on their adventure in the pursuit of what's going on. Catch you later. Bye bye.
Aye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.